You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Jiggles, boobs, and butts.
Go on.
That song is forever cursed now. They ruined the magic. Coke is the chicken broth of sodas.
I have heard that.
Put some like shit on your shit and eat your shit.
Milk.
Milk.
It just feels wrong.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 390. I'm your host, as always, John Danger, joined by my beautiful co-hosts.
Oh, thank you, Matt Haig.
Oh, we got a TJ, Toe Jam, and Earl May.
Did you just thank yourself, Matt?
No, you said I was
you,
beautiful.
You said, oh, thank you, Matt Hag. Like, is it?
Oh, thank you, Matt Hag.
Oh, thank you, semicolon, Matt
Can
Hag.
we all just have a moment to thank Matt Hag for
And also,
Matt Hag.
Spanky's here.
thank
I'll tell you-
Matt Hag for Matt Hag.
I'll tell you, if you got a bad like case of irritable bowel syndrome and they have to resect your colon, you'll be a semicolon.
Yep.
God.
Dab.
It wasn't very funny, but
No, it wasn't.
I really took a while to come up with that joke because I'm still playing World of Warcraft as we talk because Spanky has got me heavily addicted into retail.
I used that joke when my girlfriend's mom got part of her colon removed for colon cancer, and it went over really well.
Wow, I almost said colon cancer, but then I switched it to IBD.
Well, that's actually a real thing that happened. It was
It is a real thing that does happen.
It was
cut out the part that's
don't worry.
bad.
If you're worried about my girlfriend's mom, don't worry. She's fine now.
She's dead.
No.
She has no
She's
more
with the
hairs
Lord.
left.
Resting in peace.
Because I feel like I would be fine if I was dead now.
Yeah.
The way
Well,
the world-
see, the thing is, I'm fine because I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. So.
I've got this colloidal silver that I use.
Hey, he's from Missouri. You bet if you're getting colloidal silver, you're getting Missouri silver.
Did you? Okay, so
I'm
did you
still
see
covered in hard black cherry lemonade, but
Did you see the article? Was it Chris Cuomo, that guy from fucking CNN's wife, takes baths with like bleach in the water?
Yeah.
the fuck?
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Why? It's not going to stop the coronavirus.
No, but
It's not
it
in
does.
water.
It is a good way to multitask if you want to clean your shower while you're taking a shower.
I suppose that's true. Maybe that's what you.
I think maybe she just wants to like microdose bleach for her asshole because she's getting used to like really tank the bit.
Well, the thing is that she had slept with her husband, Chris Cuomo, and then she had taken a bath with bleach because she needed it afterwards. and then he walked in and was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, it's for the coronavirus."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm bleaching myself to get rid of any trace of you.
Interesting. But then also, why are you shaking and crying? Just like
It's the
in fetal
coronavirus.
position. Yeah.
Too stressed. Speaking of the coronavirus,
I had the
news updates.
coronavirus. That's when I drink too much Corona and I get a headache and I throw up.
Coronavirus.
That's fucking so funny, dude. Funniest shit I've ever heard of.
Did you guys realize that
himself into a
disease is the
pickle.
same name as a beer?
Yeah. Well, there's
So-
nothing new to talk about with that. Everyone's still locked
if I
down.
was being honest with my work, according to Michigan standards at my new job. Well, it's not the job's fault. It's
Open
Michigan's
Michigan.
I know. I've
have
seen
to
those
fill out-
recent Michigan news stories. You don't have standards.
Yeah, we have to fill out a paperwork every day at work saying if we have like a fever or been in contact with anyone with corona or have diarrhea.
Dude, I've had diarrhea for the past 4 years.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm
Yeah,
at.
well, it's all that Taco Bell, so you can't eat Taco Bell now.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've been like, I'm going to answer no to all these questions because I come into work like already on ibuprofen and Pepto. So no.
Yeah. No more than usual. The usual
But
amount of
but I swear
badness that I feel.
I swear that a few nights ago, I couldn't sleep through the night because of
Corona?
stomach issues because I had this weirdly
Corona cough.
phlegmy but kind of dry cough overnight,
Oh my god.
and I was getting chills. I'm like, Oh, this is great. I'm killing everybody.
This is
Awesome.
the worst part about the coronavirus, is that I think every single tiny symptom I have of any sort of respiratory thing, I'm like, oh, I got the corona, I'm dying. Or if I get like a slight stomach ache, I'm like, oh god.
Even if I just like every time I go outside, I immediately like start to feel like I have a headache. I'm like, oh god, it's starting.
Mm-hmm.
Spanky, how's your Animal Crossing? Because I saw your thing pop up on my.
Yeah, I can tell he's currently playing it. God, why would you be playing something while we record? That's so irresponsible.
Just paid off my loan that I got when I expanded my house to 2 rooms.
Nice.
So
I am at 3 rooms, so fucking you suck at the game.
I think I got it like a long time after you.
Yeah, you didn't.
Pretty sure I did because you gave me like all the fruit I didn't.
Yeah, I had been playing for a day. I'm just that good of a player.
No, it was a day. No, but you couldn't have been a day.
Oh yeah,
No.
dude. I fucking kick
Incorrect.
ass at this game.
No, I think you're wrong about it.
John's
Nook,
speed running.
I own Tom Nook. No, I don't do any of the. I don't do any of the. What is it called?
Time
travel.
Time traveling.
John's so good at the game now. When new people start playing it, they don't see Tom Nook. They just
they
see
owe
John
me.
standing there.
John Nook.
Who
John
is
Nook.
okay? This TJ is not paying attention to us playing
Final Fantasy X.
It's a really solid show
TJ,
so far.
TJ is just showing us that TJ is playing Final Fantasy X, and I have to ask TJ. TJ, who's your favorite Aeon in Final Fantasy X?
None of them, because the best Aeon is Rama from Final Fantasy VII.
Ranma 1/2 is correct.
Ranma 1/2. I know what that is. That's anime.
But anime.
Yeah. Your favorite genre?
That's like gender. Transformation.
Oh, that's
anime.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can't remember exactly. Like Ranma, like has like a sneezes. It's every time he sneezes, he becomes a woman.
Oh, really?
No, it's hot water. Hot water turns
Hot water burn baby.
her. Cold water turns her into.
Don't throw the gamer girl out with the bathwater. That's what I always say.
Sneezes. The one who sneezes is Launch from Dragon
Oh,
Ball.
you're right. Launch from Dragon
And
Ball.
she turns into a nice woman or a crazy bitch.
So she turns
Like
into
my ex-girlfriend. Oh.
Yep, good one. Thank you for being misogynistic, Matt.
Do you have her number?
No.
Matt's a
1,
boomer
2,
now.
3, 4, 5.
Oh
I was
shit!
gonna say it's the number 4.
867-5309. I got her number on the wall.
Oh fuck! I forgot. I have kids still too.
Okay, so this is devolving already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing World of Warcraft.
I'm not playing World of
We're
Warcraft.
streaming World of
You are
Warcraft right now.
screen sharing yourself playing World of Warcraft at the moment.
And it
What
is
if I was-
currently the focus of the podcast. I've made it the main screen.
It's the zoom back. I'm not jumping and flying with my sweet demon wings.
Yeah.
I'm not assessing the situation with Chandra Feathermoon.
In these uncertain
Oh,
times,
here's the cutscene. I'm done. All right,
So
let's
I
watch
watched
this
an anime this
beautiful
past week and a half.
cutscene.
TJ, describe your anime while John shows us this cutscene.
Awesome. So I'm going to describe my anime by getting a 1:30 in the morning message on Discord. Well, it was 1:30 in the morning Eastern time, asking, "Hey, did you sign into my Netflix?"
Yeah.
I don't remember who that was from, but
That was from me. Because I got an email and then it said like Missouri or something for the login. And I was like, that doesn't seem right.
Marquette, Michigan is
Maybe.
probably what you saw.
I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, it might have been funneled through a third party because it was hotel Wi-Fi. Oh, no, it wasn't Wi-Fi because I was on a cell phone.
No, it for sure
prefer
is.
the
It
hotel
says
account.
Missouri. So I don't know if Spanky's hacking my account.
Okay.
It's such a lonely place.
So I watched a Netflix anime because dubs
An
are
anime.
easier to watch when you can't read small words on a cell phone screen.
What was it? Agretsuko?
It was not. I finished that a while ago. I watched No Game No Life.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
It's my life story.
Besides the fact, I think the reason
We've
a
had
lot
this
of people like
conversation
this
before,
show,
haven't we? Because I was like, it's Sword Art Online.
kind of, it's sort of online. If every dispute in the world was solved by essentially, all right, take the Agni Kai process from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay,
where
can you explain
Yeah,
the
what the fuck
Agni
is
Kai
that?
process? I've seen Avatar, The Last Airbender, and I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
You don't know what an Agni Kai is?
No!
I know what a Cobra
It's-
Kai is.
Yeah, I know that. Let's talk about that.
What's
I'm
an
waiting for
Agni
season
Kai?
3. Fucking still.
Agni Kai!
An Agni Kai is
Agnes
is a
Kai?
duel in the Fire Nation. If you
Wait,
feel like
what
your
about the
honor's
Fire
been-
Nation? Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
So
that
it's
that
like a-
hipster festival at the island.
No, what's it called? What's the a Mock Gora in Warcraft?
Mukbang.
Mock
Mukbang.
Gora. A mukbang.
Loktar.
A mukbang is just a really sloppy session.
Anyway,
Okay, so what? Explain,
every
teacher.
every dispute in this alternate world universe is settled by playing a game.
What game?
There are 10
Fortnite.
pledges that the whole world
Like
has,
Saw.
Has abided by. Like, you can't kill people. You're not allowed to have violence against others. You set the stipulations of the game. The challenge gets to determine the rules. A whole list of things that settles every dispute in this entire fantasy world. And two people who were ultimate gamers in our world got sucked into theirs, and kind of just take over. Even in this world of fantasy and magic, and they don't have magic, because everything's settled with games. They just strategize themselves to victory.
Okay.
The only problem I have with the series is actually why I think certain people do like it, and that's it's a bit too fan servicey in terms of jiggles, boobs, and butts, including
So it sounds good. That's what you're saying.
including a little bit of pedo crap.
Oh.
Sorry.
So just
incest
every
pedo
anime.
crap. Because the
No,
bro-
what? Yeah. What did they call them?
The brother and
Pederast?
sister are a little too into each other.
Okay.
Too
That's
much.
just the way anime is now.
Yeah.
That's like a trope now in anime.
Yeah, but it's a shitty one.
Why is
I
the
like to
world like
strategize.
this now? Why
Yeah,
is
what is that-
stepmother stepson the most popular porn category on Pornhub? What happened to us?
Because I've been DDoSing Pornhub to show that for me.
What's it called?
Stepmom,
trope?
son?
No, what's the trope called? The anime trope about the little sister. It has an anime name.
ABDL.
Daddy
ABDL.
Dom Little Girl.
The one where she secretly a
Emoto.
1,000-year-old
That's
spirit.
it.
What is it?
Emoto. IMOUTO. It's like
Moto? No,
it's
I
like
don't
a new genre of anime.
Ahigao.
Emoto is the Japanese
Ahegao?
word meaning
That's
little
this.
sister.
TJ did Ahigao face.
Okay. it's
Everyone
this.
do the Ahigao.
We actually talked about Ahegao for Sahoge on the podcast. But the idea of people from real world ending up in another world also has a trope name in Japanese, and that's isekai, which really just means other world.
Okay. And
You
do
know,
the
it's,
other
it's
worlds...
like if the World of Warcraft movie started with actual Jason Statham going into Azeroth, and then following his adventures.
I
He'd
like
probably
that.
die. He doesn't have magic powers.
No.
No.
But
He's
he
not a good
is
tank.
very tough. And he has a good
like a monk.
accent.
Yeah.
No,
Great
instead the Warcraft movie was just most of the cast of Preacher.
Okay.
And then orcs. God,
It
I
was
want to
pretty
rewatch
recently.
that. I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theaters, And
I went and saw it in IMAX.
I want to see like what's it like now? Like in the WoW Classic world that I currently live in. Is it just garbage? I bet it's garbage.
So here, something that I have done. So, I have been hanging out with my roommate who I had a few years ago online in World of Warcraft.
So he's not your roommate.
No, but I don't know what else to call him.
Virtual roommate.
A friend?
No,
Yeah,
no.
but like
Friend.
okay, but
Past
listen,
roommate?
I'm telling a story about when he was my roommate. So he,
Imagine, if you will.
at the time was my roommate. Imagine, if you will, this friend that I have
I
that
don't
used
call
to be
TJ my roommate, even though
was
we
my
share a room.
roommate. I lived with him for 2.5 years.
I lived with TJ for a summer.
Imagine.
Anyway, so I took.
Go
That
on.
song is forever cursed now. They ruined Imagine.
Then roommate John was getting me into World of Warcraft.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
All
I
right,
had a second
so-
monitor at that time.
When Warcraft movie came out, me and my then roommate, who I've been playing WoW with recently, went to go see it with our other roommate who had no idea what Warcraft whatsoever. Had vague ideas that there were orcs in it and knew nothing else. So we had 3 people. Me, I am super into the lore of Warcraft. My roommate, who knows the game really, really well, but didn't really care a whole lot about the lore and RP stuff. And someone who had no fucking clue about the entire franchise.
Mhm.
As I remember it, I came out of it thinking that was a mess. It was kind of bad, but I had a lot of fun because I knew all the characters.
Yeah.
My roommate was like, kind of like the same thing, was like, I don't really know the story of what I just saw, but it wasn't like the exact story of what happened in the lore anyway, so you didn't really need that. But he knew the characters that were relevant in the game, like Khadgar, he knew, obviously, like the big people. Like I don't think he really knew like the whole like Lothar and that kind of stuff about it. But like the people who were in the game still, he definitely knew. And then my other roommate, who knew nothing, came out of it going, I can't tell you the name of a single character in that movie that I just saw.
What the fuck did I just see?
Yeah.
You
So
guys-
honestly, I think that movie is probably like a 0 out of 10 in terms of like, was it a good movie? But I had so much fun watching it in IMAX.
So let's not talk about Warcraft anymore. I've finally gone off the
So, anyways, I was playing World of Warcraft Classic.
Do you guys want a COVID update? Do you guys want to know how terrifying it is now?
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So I've been following the guidelines of the president. And I've already started a main line of antiseptic.
I put a
Right, my
UV
pleasure.
flashlight up my ass.
So the death toll is now 50,000 in the U.S. We hit it.
We did it.
Sniffles.
But I want to highlight some new things we've learned about the coronavirus. The fact that it is not just, it appears, at least based on what the hospital workers and researchers in New York have found, it is not just a respiratory virus. It appears to also, on top of attack your lungs and whatnot, it also increases the ability of your blood to clot.
Yep. Leading to strokes.
And now they've said that there is a very large spike in patients in their 30s and 40s now showing up in hospitals with massive strokes and heart attacks.
Mhm.
Because
Because that's the demographic that was like, I don't need to fucking be careful. I'm invincible. It just takes out boomers.
Yes, correct. And again, while this is not likely to be you, it is still possible for someone here who is 13 or 33, this person was, who
Same
had
age
a
as
massive
Jesus.
stroke.
Just like Jesus.
Here we go. Let's see here. In a letter published to the New England Journal of Medicine, Mount Sinai team details 5 case studies of young patients who had strokes at home from March 23rd to April 7th. The victims' ages were 33, 37, 39, 44, and 49. All were home and they began to experience sudden symptoms, including slurred speech, confusion, drooping on one side of the face, and a dead feeling in one arm. 1 died, 2 are still hospitalized, 1 is now in rehab, and 1 was released to the care of his brother. Only one of the 5, the 33-year-old woman, is able to speak.
That's fun.
Yeah. So,
thanks for bringing that to our comedy show.
Yeah, I saw a doctor had mentioned that this virus is acting the opposite of Ebola. Whereas Ebola is a major hemorrhagic virus, which makes your blood super thin, so you basically bleed everywhere, including out all of your orifices, because, your blood vessels just start leaking. This is basically, they said there's like dialysis machines getting clogged with clots. I've never seen that before. It just turns your blood into soup.
It's rattlesnake venom.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah, so that's another large complication with this virus that we hadn't really seen or heard reported, because, again, this is the problem with this disease and at the stage that we're at is there's a lot of people that don't know they have it, or people that just die of a stroke and they're like, oh, they had a stroke. But actually, they may have had coronavirus that caused a stroke.
It's also
so that's good.
People just don't get that this is literally a brand new thing. And, we are still, we know almost nothing about it. That's why every week there's another headline of some new terrifying thing we discovered.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because I want to bring this up, because I know I've maybe tried to not sound as alarmist, because I think, again, you got to think about the percentages here. I mean, if you're under the age of 60, your chance of dying this is exceedingly slim. But it also is something that we cannot know, because it is a virus that has never been in humans before. So we do not know how it's going to act. And now we're at the point where we have 50,000 dead, and you have hospitals saying, oh, hey, actually, this isn't just destroying people's lungs. This is causing blood clots that are destroying other organs, livers, hearts, brains. I mean, it's killing people in other ways that we didn't even know. So, it is largely safe. I mean, you have, New York City actually posted that they did a randomized antibody study, and they found that 13% of the people, the 3,000 people they had the virus. So they're thinking that the fatality rate is closer to about half, 0.5, based on that. So it doesn't sound like, again, it's not that bad. But if you just have an immune system that isn't great and you get it, you're fucked because we have no treatment plan right now.
Yeah, I feel like there's also a lot of I don't know, kind of like what you said. There's people who are like, what does it matter if I get it? I'm like, are you ever going to be in contact with someone for whom it does matter if they get it?
Well, it's because this country has, with the 2016 election, empathy is gone. The Republican Party is the anti-empathy party. They're the I got mine, you don't deserve yours.
You're talking about libertarians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no empathy, and so you don't understand, if I can... And the funny part is that there are older adults, like my parents, that are definitely not, libs, but they're much more the typical Wisconsin, we're going to be sitting in the middle of the fence and voting each... my dad said he didn't vote in the last election because he hated both candidates. So I guess, he couldn't bring himself to vote for Trump. He wanted Gary Johnson to have run. He's that type of guy. And now they're just like, this is awful. They're being radicalized against the Republican government. It's like they're just digging a hole. It's crazy.
There are people though that are buying some of the right wing media, basically saying that.
Spanky, are you trimming your nails right now?
Death right now as a corona.
I mean, we can't hear it.
Yeah.
So I had a hangnail. I wasn't just grooming. I was like, I really wanted to tear it off, and I'm like, I'll just start bleeding. So I had to get my clippers and actually cut it.
So does that mean that because I'm on an SSRI, I'm protected from the clotting? Because isn't that thin your blood?
No.
No, you just have to snort a baby aspirin every morning.
So I want to talk about that. I've actually read that they are thinking about possibly telling everyone to start taking baby aspirin. Because if you're over the age of 30, because it's kind of like it's not really going to hurt you unless, of course, you have interactions.
I heard that the efficacy of baby aspirin, even for people that do have are taking it for heart risk, that it doesn't really do anything. Like, it's not a high enough dose to actually make a difference.
Fair enough. I mean, now that they've discovered this clotting thing, they've said basically if you're a coronavirus patient, they're going to probably put you on blood thinners right away. Yeah. Because it's just a preemptive, as long as you don't have obvious contradictions, like if you're going to bleed out because you're on other drugs that they can't have blood thinners on them. But that's kind of the way it is. It's just that's the thing that struck me this week. I was like, this is terrifying. This is another mechanism to kill you from this virus that we did not think. It was like, oh, we got ventilators, we'll be fine. It's like, oh yeah, you can be on the ventilator, you can breathe, but your brain's dead because you had a massive stroke because you clogged up. It's
my beer just bukkakied me.
What I'm saying is, don't fucking go out if you don't need to. I'm pissed because when I go out, I see so many people without masks. If you're going to be out walking the dog, whatever, in your yard, you don't need a mask, whatever. But if you're going inside into a store, wear a fucking mask. You need to protect everyone else from yourself. It's fucking just courteous. Fuck's sake. And it's hard to get a mask. I understand that. But it's
not hard to get a scarf.
Yes, a scarf, a t-shirt. There was a guide where he showed the Surgeon General showed that you can make a mask out of a t-shirt and 2 rubber bands. You just fold it over, put it over your fucking mouth, so you're not breathing virus if you think you have it. I mean, the images are just shocking of the way that the virus is spreading. There's a couple studies. I'm going to see if I could bring up this image on the screen. I saw it was a Korean call center. You know what? It's not on the Washington Post site.
So I saw somebody had dug up anonymized cell phone data where they looked at one beach in, I think, Daytona on spring break, and then they looked a week later at where those anonymous cell signals pinged, and they went from that beach to their homes literally all over the country in every state, and that's how that shit spreads.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was an image. Oh, you know what? It was right here. Sorry, it was a tweet somebody posted. But the way that this virus spreads is through aerosol droplets. It's not airborne. Airborne means that it's just free floating in the air and get there. No, This just means if you have it, you're
means breathing if you have it, somebody spit in your mouth,
and it will spit it, fly around in the air for however long and land on surfaces. So this, I'm going to screen share. This image is of a call center in Korea where a virus happened. Can you guess where the person was sitting where this happened? In this call center?
Right there. Right in the middle.
If you can't see this image, if you're not watching us live, but there's a Korean call center, and it's basically like your typical building where the center is the stack with bathrooms, elevators, stairs, and everything. And then one side of the building's a bunch of call center seats, and the other side of the building's a bunch of call center seats and a couple conference rooms. One side, I would say about 65% of the people tested positive. And then the other side of the building looks like 5 out of the maybe 40 people on the other side. It's because this virus is 100% about close proximity to someone who has it. So you can reduce that by wearing a fucking mask so your breath doesn't go as far, or just staying 6 feet away from people. That's the one thing you need to do.
And for the love of God, stop spitting in each other's mouths.
I'm just saying this out of exasperation of seriously, people, because I'm out shopping and stuff, and people are not staying 6 feet away. You'll just be out there and some guy will just walk right in front of you. It's what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. It's great when it's some white-haired old dude that's 70. It's you're the people that should be worried right now.
Yeah, I know. You have if you're over 70 and you get this, you have a 50% chance of dying. It is really serious for the elderly. And it's apparently, and now maybe I'm pissed because I'm reading stories about 30 and 40-year-old people dying of strokes, and I'm like, I could fucking die of a stroke. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man. I don't want that to happen. And I'm sure the listeners don't either.
Yeah. Stop stroking.
Other than that, the hydroxychloroquine trials were massive, terrible. Nope. Doesn't work. Malarial drug doesn't work.
Yeah, doesn't it also cause like significant heart problems?
It can. That's a rare side effect. Although now, remember we talked about remdesivir last week.
Mm-hmm.
There is now new data saying that it has failed its first trial, remdesivir. Yeah. So there was a case study that was just a few people.
Honestly,
yep. Go ahead.
Our media is bad about like even
about
not
science.
in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Well, no,
yeah.
yes, but even in a non-pandemic, like 2 years ago, when nothing was going on major in terms of like reporting scientific results, you could have seen an article that was like, "Oh, new study finds that using an elliptical will lead to hip dysplasia."
Yeah,
or like it's like it's
and then you look into it, and it's like the study size was 5 people, and they were all 75 years old.
So sorry.
You have that, and then it exacerbates by the fact that Donald Trump is the president, and he is just one of those articles as a person with racism in the middle of it. Like,
he's a Facebook forward as a person.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah. So what he does is he's like, "Oh, I heard sunlight was going to cure it, so we're going to put sunlight in the people." And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? I don't know.
So the issue with this was that Gilead Sciences, who was working on the virus, they had inadvertently last week posted to the website of the World WHO that summary of study results that showed it was really good, and now they've pulled that back because it's not finished being peer reviewed. So likely because it probably isn't as good as that initial draft had said it was. And then there was an actual study done in China with an actual control group, and it appeared that 13.9% of the remdesivir patients died, were compared to 12.8 patients in the control arm. So there was really no statistical difference between the two. So really, I think we still need to find out. Obviously, this could work because there's been, again, like we said, there's not a lot about this. We don't know anything. And people are talking about, like, we need to get back to work. We need to get back out there. We can't. Like, we don't know enough about this virus yet. You know what I mean? Like, we need to.
Is Georgia still opening up?
Georgia had its first business opening order today. Today was.
I wasn't sure.
Day.
Like, once the Republican president is criticizing the Republican governor for being too cavalier about it, I wasn't sure if it was going to keep going.
I have a friend who lives in Georgia, and basically, I paid attention. Of course, everyone paid attention because the whole Stacey Abrams had a lot of promise in Georgia. But basically, Brian Kemp is like, I'm going to sit on my front porch with my gun and my dog, and I'm going to scare my daughter's boyfriend into not fucking her.
Yeah, he had a campaign ad where he offered to use his truck to go round up illegal immigrants himself. He's that kind of guy.
Yes. So he's like, all right, well, time to open back up Georgia. Everyone has been graced by capitalism. And honestly, y'all, capitalism is fucking broke. It's it's a structure of society that, for humans, that does not support one characteristic that is extremely existence threatening for humans, which is sickness. How is our main structural how is our main societal structure that we use one that cannot adapt around sickness?
Can we just talk about why capitalism is a nightmare?
I could talk for a while.
All right, you fucking commie.
I mean, we basically talk about this. I don't think that capitalism as a system is a nightmare. I think that the way that we allow it to run rampant and unchecked is what makes it into a nightmare.
I think it's a nightmare.
Well, okay. See, there's a difference between Bernie and Warren. But anyway, I think it is nightmarish.
John's a capitalist to his bones, you know.
Yeah.
Also, what
okay,
Native American tribe are you in, John?
I am actually 1/800th Choctaw.
Mm.
I just like saying Choctaw.
That is a good mouthfeel to that word.
I don't really know anything about that, and I am definitely not.
I just know that after Choctaw is Chickasaw.
Chickasaw.
I could go for a Choctaw milkshake. Okay, moving on. Here's why capitalism is a nightmare, because you have situations like this. On Saturday, French police intercepted a group of 10 vacationers arriving at France's, this is 2 weeks ago, France's Côte d'Azur on a private jet despite the travel ban. Since March 17th, the French government has banned all non-essential travel in an effort to curb the spread of COVID-19. Only those with international travel certificates which attest that journey is essential, can enter France. They were coming in for a holiday in Cannes, and 3 helicopters were waiting on the tarmac, a border police spokesperson told the French press. We notified them that we're not allowed to enter the national territory, and they were left 4 hours later. The Embraer Legacy jet, chartered by a Croatian businessman, arrived at the airport from London at 2 p.m., according to the news. The group, consisting of 7 men ages 40 to 50 and 3 women ages 24 to 27, had planned to get private helicopters to Cannes, where a rented luxury villa awaited them. This is what the problem is with capitalism, because the rich people have life rafts and the rest of us don't. Even though these people were rightfully prevented from using their, breaking the law, basically, and trying to hide out. But I mean, that's the thing that pisses me off about that, Imagine video. Because it's hey, we'll get through this together. I'm in my private 100-acre woods that I own on my ranch property.
Yeah, but,
you just have fun in your apartment where you have to walk past 20 people every day to get home.
I saw somebody did detective work on that Imagine video, and Jimmy Fallon is literally in his own private forest recording
his private woods that he owns. I mean, it's fucking ludicrous. I'm sorry. And Ellen's producing her show at her fucking private island that she owns,
and they're still bad at it. They're really bad at Twitch streaming.
Yeah. So anyway, there was a bunch of billionaires, I guess, some fucking Croatian billionaires in the UK that were like, "Let's go to the French Riviera." Is that a Croatian accent?
Yeah.
No.
My wife.
How do Croats sound?
Croats.
I imagine they sound like Asian crows.
Yeah.
I mean, they are from Asia,
the
continent. Croat. I get it. No, Croatian. My favorite Croatian is the UFC fighter Mirko Krokop.
Mirko Krokop is cool. He's really good at kicking people in the head, and
that is why he's my favorite, because he would just kick people in the head. No,
yes.
But his name is funny because he was on the Croatian police SWAT team force for a long time, and so his name is just Croatian cop. That was his stage name, Krokop.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just thought he was awesome because he just kicked the shit out of people's heads.
Whenever I watched UFC, and actually he was also in other, that was back before UFC.
He was K1 and stuff,
that was back whenever there was MMA that wasn't all UFC,
which is proceeding on their private island that they're going to continue doing fights on.
No, the latest I heard is they're not going to do that because
they got canceled. Disney,
higher ups at Disney were like, we're not going to fucking broadcast your shit on ESPN if you do it. So you'll be doing private island tournaments for no audience.
Well, the WWE is still doing shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But they're doing it without an audience, which is
weird. They're doing without an audience and without traveling. They're all just at their soundstage.
Yeah, well, the thing about WWE that's kind of neat, is also bad because Vince McMahon is a piece of garbage, but also kind of neat. Is that and it probably works out great if you're one of the male superstars who gets along well in that society. But like you basically have everything taken care of when if you're also at their beck and call, but you're not going to get infected with your job at the WWE.
Yeah.
You
they're
will.
And McMahon tried to run XFL that way. Like he owns every team in the XFL. I kind of think too.
Now you do run a high risk of going crazy from concussions and steroids and murdering your family.
No, yeah. You can always go the Chris Benoit route.
Whoa.
And then there's also like the Hulk Hogan route where you pick a stupid finishing move and you ruin your spine.
They get better steroids now, Matt. Not the dirty kind that make you go crazy. They're much better about it than they used to be. But speaking of the XFL, just a quick note on that: it is bankrupt. So the XFL once again is a franchise that went bankrupt and canceled itself after one season. You know what I love about the XFL is that they did their we're going to be fucking hardcore football back in the early 2000s, and they're like, we're going to be you have nicknames on your stuff and all this.
I remember being at Damon's Sport Bar, eating a half rack of ribs and seeing XFL on the giant screen TV.
Everybody wanted to watch that because they were like, this is extreme, and the cheerleaders are fucking tits everywhere, and it's America. And now America is like, no, Patriot ball. Everything needs to be that. But it wasn't that. But they went under after a year, because they just didn't have the talent and it just wasn't a good product. This time, they had a much better product, I felt, and people were actually watching it, even though it wasn't. And I was watching it because I was like, well, whatever. I'll watch bad sports in the background while I'm doing something else, and maybe I'll see a cool.
Honestly, this is a true story. I was like, I could get into this, and I looked up. So St. Louis Battlehawks.
They have a team.
I like St. Louis Blues hockey, and I don't like baseball at all. So if you go to St. Louis,
and you like predatory birds,
right? So
I love the Battlehawk, my favorite real bird that exists.
Yeah. So I'm like, I would love to go to St. Louis, but hockey season, I would like another thing to pay attention for in St. Louis because my favorite sport is football, and I pay attention to Kansas City, and I don't go to St. Louis, even though I like hockey. So I'm like, I'll get into XFL. I'll be a Battlehawks fan. I go to the website. I'm like, I'll even get a jersey. I'll even buy the merch and show I would like to go see this. It was $260 for a jersey for XFL. I bought a Travis Kelce jersey from
one of the hottest players currently.
Yeah, so to explain, even though they won the Super Bowl, so I feel like people might know finally who the fuck our players are, but to explain, Travis Kelce is like Patrick Mahomes is the hotshot rock star young quarterback. The second in line to favorite player is Travis Kelce. So his jerseys will go on sale by $10, whereas Patrick Mahomes will not go on sale at all. I got one of his jerseys at the stadium, I didn't get a Chinese knockoff. I know because they make them at the stadium and right there for $160, and it's almost double that to get a Battlehawks jersey. And immediately I was like, no, I can't get into this yet. It's cost prohibitive.
But they actually had tens of even hundreds of thousands of people watching it on the weekends.
Yeah,
on national TV.
They had been in development for I think 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. It was polished.
They had funding for I think approximately 3 more years at minimal income, but because the minimal income became zero income, it just killed them.
It's just hilarious because they worked hard, came back, did a much better product that was actually starting to gain traction, and they're like, no, it's over. Thanks, coronavirus. This random fucking world event happens and ruins it.
And
they probably would have been better off if they had a slightly shittier product and started last year.
Yeah. Yeah, because they probably could have maybe.
They would have just been like, nobody's allowed to kneel on our football.
Yeah.
Place.
If there's anything I know about, because I got into hockey last year.
Yeah.
Is that championships are what make fans. Like, if you've been a hockey fan since you were 6 years old, championships are just the end of the season for you. And it's kind of the same way for me in football. Like, I've been a fan of football for years and years. The Super Bowl, I'm going to watch it no matter what. It's just the end of the season. But, like, to get new people to watch, like, there's people who, like, my personal friends who would just, like, fucking leave if I started talking about football, who were, like, taking Snapchat videos of themselves, getting super pumped at the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs are playing. Like, they were into it. They were drunk. They were screaming. And now they've asked me if they can come over to my house and watch football this season. So, championships are how you make fans. I feel like the XFL, if they had the chance to get, all right, it's the what is it, Dallas Rangers Renegades. The Dallas Renegades and the Seattle Dragons or whatever the hell it was, they're going at the XFL Bowl or whatever they call it, and that would be kind of an event to watch. You know, what else is happening in like late July, and that could have made a lot of fans like watching the XFL Championship, but they didn't get to have that, and now they're probably like maybe they'll come back in 2042.
Well, at least your beloved sport isn't in the. Oh, I know the NHL's over for this year too, right?
Yep.
How were the St. Louis Blues doing?
They were. NHL is difficult to tell anyone to like answer that question because unlike NFL, where like last year the Cincinnati Bengals were like I could wipe my ass and throw it on a football field and that would be a better team than the Cincinnati Bengals were last year.
So they weren't doing good, is what I'm hearing from you right now.
No.
The thing about the
NHL is the league is extremely on par with each. Like,
yeah, I will say that
there's so much parity. Basketball is probably the better example because you had like 4 years in a row with the same with the Cavs and or the Golden State Warriors or whatever it was.
So the reason why the NBA has that problem is because they have dynasties so much because you have 5 people on court at a time. So if you have 3 great players, you can dominate for years if they decide to stick around. Whereas in the NHL,
that's how hockey is too. You have 5. You have 5 people. Well, 6 if you count the goalie, but you have 5 men on the ice.
Yeah.
But hockey, it's just like there's the structure of the NHL is a lot better. Like in terms of like in the NBA and the NFL, you'll get teams that'll tank, so they get good draft picks, and they just manipulate that. It tends to not really work in hockey. Most of the reasons are because you have to have a minor league team that's associated with you. You have to pull up from the minor. Like they have all this stuff in place that makes it so that like every team is probably going to have a pool of players that aren't terrible. And you'll have a couple teams in the league that suck, but like most of them are fine. I believe at the end of the season, the Blues were ahead of their division, but I don't.
They were ahead of their division. Yes, 42 wins, 19 losses. The worst team in their division, the Blackhawks, had 32 wins and 30 losses. So only 10-game difference between the top and the bottom there.
Yeah, and the Blackhawks and the Blues is a pretty big rivalry because it's Chicago and St. Louis, so they're really close to each other.
Yeah, so it does. It seems really unfortunate because, I mean, I was just looking up, when is the NBA coming back? Is it coming back? Because that's my favorite. The Milwaukee Bucks are having the best season they've ever had. And now it's over. And I want to cry because this was our year to win the championship. And so I was reading, they said they may continue this season after June. And then the regular season next year will get pushed back later and be shorter.
Yeah, I don't watch NBA, but I work at a university, and Missouri State girls basketball, I don't really watch. I like professional
I like to watch
sports.
large women play basketball.
Well, I mean, the thing is I just prefer to watch women's. I just always have. Even in high school, I never cared about the men's basketball team. But our women's basketball team was doing phenomenal. I think we had 3 losses on the year. We were just about like that weekend going to go to the Missouri Valley Conference, and I believe we had secured a spot in the Sweet 16, so the Final 16 in the NCAA. So like we would be on TV in the Final 16 in the bracket for the potentially to be NCAA champions. We weren't favorites, but we had 3 losses on the year, and our schedule wasn't like a cakewalk. And I was, I went to almost every home game. I think every home game from November, except for maybe 1 or 2, I went to. And then that weekend, they said, "All right, we're going to play the champion. They're going to play the conference, but no fans, just close family and players." And that got canceled as soon as the men's basketball, because Duke in the NCAA was like, men's basketball was like, we're not playing. Like even if you say we're playing, we're not playing. So that made the NCAA cancel men's basketball, made them cancel women's basketball. So I didn't even get to see my team finish their season. And it was terrible. Good news is that most of the players are back next season. So we'll probably have a good year next year if we ever play football, or if we ever have a public life.
Yeah. If we still exist as a country in a year.
And you know what's funny? I was very optimistic probably months ago that like, the economy's fine, whatever.
Feels like years ago, huh?
It feels like years ago, man. 2019, what a hell of a year that was, huh? I wish we could go back.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Do you remember how simple it was in 2016 when just all of our favorite celebrities were dying?
Do you just remember how simple it was? I was looking at this. I had a memory from like posts from 2015. I was like, that was a good year. Nothing horrible was happening. I mean, there was the horrific civil war in Syria and all the other things going on, but like,
there were probably like weekly mass shootings too. We just don't remember.
I mean,
them.
yeah. Hey, the mass shootings have gone down. You got to give it that. The
Good job,
coronavirus.
COVID. Can't have a mass shooting if you don't have a mass.
Yeah. So this is bad. I'm sorry. I'm reading the stroke paper again, and I really need to talk about something else. So, guys, to help me think about something else.
Isn't it crazy how all of these crazy big shootings happen at Catholic churches? Because they happen during Mass. They're mass shooting.
Good job.
Mass shooting joke. Great.
Just
Bye,
do I have a rim
TJ
shot
could not
here?
handle
How about this one? So I have a story I can talk about for at least a minute.
Thank you.
Okay.
I recently became a Reddit celebrity.
What was that?
So I posted on a subreddit called r/eat cheap and healthy, and I just asked a simple question.
Wait, like a cheap from fucking Mario? That's fish.
No, like
That's
healthy that doesn't cost a lot. Because you can eat cheap
like
by
Whole
going to
Foods.
McDonald's. No,
I call
that
it
costs a
whole
lot.
paycheck.
But no, I had a random post where I was asking, like, is a rice cooker worth it? And it got 6,200 upvotes and 2,100 comments. Made it to the front page of Reddit. I had
Did you get Reddit
somebody.
Gold?
No. Some comments do. Just like okay. Here's another little secret about Reddit. If you see a post that's like 1,500 comments and you think, surely I have something to add to this conversation, I read maybe like 5 of the comments before I just started ignoring this thread entirely. But no, I got a message from r/front page users that I am now a verified user of the Reddit front page, and somebody messaged me offering to buy and send me a rice cooker. Like, it was a very absurd couple of days.
That's awesome.
Now you need to use your clout to get people to listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
The Rice Cooker Guy podcast.
That's what Kirsten said. I was like, or she was like, you should like mention your music and stuff in there, and I was like,
Yeah, I was
dude,
gonna say,
like,
did you drop your SoundCloud?
whenever like you see a tweet that goes viral and then somebody doesn't edit, that's like, here's my SoundCloud. That's the most annoying fucking thing on the planet.
It is the absolute worst thing ever. Is you go through Twitter and you see a tweet that went viral, and you see that they've replied, and you click below, and it's like, check my Ko-fi link. I do all this other stuff. It's like, oh, you fucking. Oh, no, I mean, it's very human.
Here's my plan, right?
Yeah.
So I post again with a picture of the rice cooker that I now have and used today, and it was fucking amazing.
Rice cookers are amazing, yes.
They're worth it.
But then I say, hey, I listened to your advice, and I got this, and then that gets a couple thousand upvotes. It gets to the front page, right? And then my third post is going to be like, hey, I wrote this song about rice cookers. It's on my YouTube page. And then that'll go to the front page, and then I'll make a living writing parody songs about rice cookers.
I just want to chime in because
that's my
people,
5-year plan.
You just talk to cooking people online. They're like, you don't need a rice cooker. Rice is easy to cook. And I'm like, yeah, it's easy to cook, but it's another fucking pot on the stove. It's another thing I have to pay attention to. The rice cooker, you pour in rice, you pour in water, you hit a button, and you just have hot rice.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes later.
So
you can do the rest of the meal while your rice is just working in the background.
Here's the thing that I think about rice cookers. Yes, it's easy to cook right. And they even make it like in boil in a bag. Like you can get rice is easy. Here's the thing. You know what's not easy? Steaming food. You know what is
and my
good
rice cooker
food?
does have a steamer tray now.
Yeah, exactly. You know what a rice cooker can do very easily? Steam food. I steam chicken tenders and have them with my rice all the time, and it's still the same one button that I press to cook rice. It's easy and it's amazing.
Chicken
Put some
tenders
veggies in there.
Does it,
yeah,
like breaded chicken tenders?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, that sounds soggy and gross.
Yes, not like tendies.
Tendies, nuggets. Actually, well, like the reason I started thinking about this was like I was thinking about like, dude, I use minute rice, and it's not great, but it's really easy. But then I was thinking about how much it costs for a box of minute rice, and like I can just go to Woodman's and get like a 5-pound bag of rice and be set for months.
Would you like a hot tip from
Yes.
me, a person who cooks rice?
Jasmine rice.
That's what I got.
Jasmine rice is
I literally
Jasmine rice is
Googled what is the most delicious kind of rice.
Yeah,
Jasmine rice is good. Here's a good tip. If you ever want to make a fried rice dish, and you want to, or if you want to have like rice in advance, get an ice cube tray. And so cook your rice, put the rice in the ice cube tray, put the ice cube tray in a Ziploc bag so it doesn't dehydrate, freeze it. Then whenever you want to make rice, take a couple like of the ice cubes out, throw it in your pan, and because it's frozen, you can put hot oil in the pan and fry the rice, and it won't get like
It
hard.
won't cook it.
It'll crisp up on the outside, but it'll still be like soft on the inside whenever you fry it. So you can make fried rice dish with the frozen rice, and the ice cube tray is a good way to portion it out, because if you just freeze it, then you have this giant mound of frozen rice.
That sounds really good. No, I did.
Right.
I hacked the menu, and I instead of water, I just put in a bunch of chicken broth, and I was like, that's
oh my god.
Yeah, and then I have this like I've been really raiding the Asian foods aisle of the grocery store now, and I have Korean barbecue sauce that I like spread over it. It's so fucking good.
All right,
so here's a poor person trick that I did in the oven before I had a rice cooker. Chicken broth, good start. Cream of chicken soup.
Yeah.
Mix it with some water, throw it in there, and then put your like chicken on top of it, cover it in some like garlic salt, and then turn your rice cooker on, and you've just got cheese.
And you're doing that with raw rice, or do you have to pre-cook the rice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raw rice. Well, I mean, because you don't just put in like the thick soup, like you mix the soup with some water.
You don't just put in the concentrate, the like gelatinous concentrate.
Oh, you could. It'd be even better.
But basically, like the thing is just like it still is pretty thick. But when it cooks down, it cooks the rice.
Is it dummy thick?
It's dummy thick. Cooks the rice, cooks the chicken, makes it creamy, cover it in cheese, and you've just got like this big old porridge from a rice cooker, and all you had to
Cheesy,
do was
salty
stuff
rice.
press the button.
What fucking blew my mind about rice cookers is like the simple, completely mechanical system that powers it is just like it hits a switch that puts it on cook mode, and then once all of the water is evaporated, the tray is lighter, so the switch releases and it switches to warming mode. And I love systems like that. Like, I still have an analog scale just because I like thinking about the spring depressing and spinning the thing around.
I don't have a scale because I would be depressed, but
I don't use it anymore.
Cookers. I've got a rice cooker recipe that I have tried.
It's
incredible. No, have you heard of McDonald's?
Whoa.
Have you heard of McDonald's Miracle?
No, I haven't heard of
steamed
McDonald's.
What is McDonald's?
McDonald's Miracle steamed rice. Have you heard of this?
No.
So this was in like 2012, another good year, before a nightmare existed.
I don't know.
Putting it in
Do you remember when 2012 was like, oh, Mitt Romney, he sucks?
Remember 2012 was like, the Mayans said we're going to die. And then it's like, no, that happened in 2020.
There was that Coney thing that happened.
Yeah,
Can we talk about McDonald's
what office
Miracle
was he
steamed
running
rice?
for?
Yes, I want to hear about the McDonald's.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to give you a recipe that I have tried and eaten and saw. So Rocket News, which used to be, I guess it isn't, Rocket News 24 is a
Can I
Japanese
just say
blog.
I Googled the thing you just said, and I'm seeing pictures.
Don't ruin it for yourself. Let me talk about it. All right, so rice cooker. This is an incredible idea that someone had. So, you can steam food in a rice cooker as well as that. But what if I were to tell you that you go to McDonald's, order yourself a Big Mac and fries and a Coke. Don't use Coke Zero, like they said, but get regular sugar Coke in there. And an order of 6 or 5 or whatever chicken nuggets. And you get your rice cooker. You put the rice in, right?
I'm nervous.
Dry rice. Pour in the Coke instead of water.
Okay, you've lost me.
It's just like chicken broth. Coke is the chicken broth of sodas.
I have heard that.
Okay, and then you sprinkle the French fries over the top of the rice, and then you take the Big Mac and put it on top of the fries. And then you array beautifully the chicken nuggets around the Big Mac, and then take one of those barbecue sauce packets that you get with the fried, and then you just spread it all over those chicken nuggets. Put the rice cooker lid on, turn it to steam, let it go, dig in. Excellent. McDonald's Miracle Rice.
And
Every step of this
I have done this.
has made me more and more nauseous.
Like
No,
the idea of steaming French fries and breaded chicken tenders and Big Mac buns sounds like the grossest thing in the world.
I don't know if I would
you.
call what is on those chicken tenders bread, but
I will tell you. It was. I will read the Metafilter people that responded to this post back in 2012 saying, "House decision, not bad, not great, edible." I'll say this: it was simultaneously good and terrible, and that is exactly what I will say.
Yeah,
is that it was like the kombucha girl, where you just bite it and you're like, and you're like, and you're like, that's some odd flavors and textures mixed together. I will tell you this: Coca-Cola as your rice. Interesting. It was like simultaneously salty from all of the pounds of salt on the fries and stuff above it, but also sweet because the Coke gave it this like sweet caramelly flavor to the rice mixed with the fries were very soggy, but whatever. The chicken nuggets were the worst because the breading was just basically goop. The burger held up very well, actually. It was very soft, but it was good. So you cut the burger up into slices, scoop out rice, put it on top. I really want to do this again now that I'm talking about it.
I'll do it. Yeah, that sounds good.
It was fun.
Yeah, I might try it for the podcast.
Well,
honestly,
okay, let's do it.
Yeah,
we got a whole week. I got nothing else to do in my fucking house.
Yeah, and when you do get that McDonald's drive-thru, you are going to want to recook it so that it's sanitized. Right?
That's true. It's steamed.
with me,
This will break my one rice cooker that I have.
That was my other question. Is like when you cook Coke in a rice cooker, doesn't that just burn a bunch of sugar to the inside of your rice cooker?
I don't think so. I think the liquid content's high enough that it doesn't.
If I am going to do this, I should do it right now when my rice cooker is new and the nonstick coating on the insides is fresh.
And
Honestly,
also, you'd still got the 90-day return.
That's true. That's true. But I'll tell you, I did this with my rice cooker that I still have, and it was you scoop the bottom off. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'm going to do it this week. I'm telling you. I'll post pictures on Instagram, maybe the official Born in the 80s account or something if people are watching.
Hell yeah. So with me on the podcast as perpetual guest host during the coronavirus and World of Warcraft.
Co-host.
No, we've tried that
COVID host.
months and months
ago. Too bad. In the times of crisis, we need all we can get. What if one of us dies?
You have been appointed co-host.
What happens when TJ dies?
Yes, exactly. COVID host.
Anyway,
you're the COVID host.
With me as a co-host now.
COVID host.
One thing about me that people find interesting is I'll eat fucking anything and I'll probably enjoy it. And people say that I'll eat it, but then they'll gross out when it's escargot and mayonnaise. I'm like, no, throw that in my fucking gullet, baby.
Yeah.
So, we could totally have segments where we just come up with some not hack the menu, but whack the menu or some crazy shit like that.
Come up with some gross shit for Spanky to eat.
Well, not just put some shit on your shit and eat your shit or something like that.
French fries covered in zebra cum.
If it's actual ass food and I can get it at the grocery store, yeah,
okay.
I'll do it.
What if it's food that's only eaten in obscure parts of the world? Like that.
Like I said, it has to be at my grocery store because I'm not going to import. Now, I know there's things like those black eggs or whatever.
Yeah.
And
they have them at my Asian grocery store, and I'm terrified.
And I would totally eat one of those.
So is that...
Wouldn't faze me a bit.
I was thinking of something. I'm not sure it's the same thing. What I'm thinking of is the egg that the chick is partially developed, and then it's a pickled chick corpse.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing as the black egg?
That's not the same thing.
Egg.
Okay. What is the black egg?
1,000-year egg.
No, what is it called? Balut. It's called balut.
Yeah, that's balut, yeah.
That's where it has the part, the chicken embryo and yolk in there, and you eat it.
Yeah.
And it's bones aren't
Yeah,
hard
it
enough yet
has
that you can
bones,
just
but you
crunch
can
it.
bite through them.
It's the worst thing I've ever heard of.
It sounds
Now,
terrible.
we're talking about century eggs. That is an
century egg.
That is an egg that is black, and it has been put in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls, and packed in that mud for months, where it just sits and ferments in itself.
But
it is
why?
the grossest looking shit I have ever seen.
I'd eat it.
Okay,
Sounds fine.
So
I got something simpler.
it's
does it
apparently
taste
it's this awful.
it's just hey, that we don't have any other
for-
options for preserving these eggs, so we developed this because
Let's look
refrigeration
at the
isn't a
history.
thing
Let's look
yet.
at the history. It was a need to preserve eggs in the times of plenty. Yeah, so it was a preservation of eggs.
Man.
So, I grew up. My dad is extremely picky eater, but I'm not. I'm literally not at all. So what it was is anything dad wouldn't eat, it was just food for me. Oh hell yeah, he's not gonna eat that. I'm gonna eat that.
Mhm.
And I took that attitude towards most food. So when I worked at a deli, we had this weird, we had souse and head cheese and
Oh, I wanna try head
liver
cheese.
loaf. Head cheese is fine. It actually tastes better than bologna, in my opinion. It has a very, very, very greasy texture, though.
Yeah.
Well,
The
because
gel
you
that
get
they
the
use to
gelatinous
hold-
fats in there. Yeah.
Yeah, all the gels they use to hold the pieces together, immediately melts in your mouth, and it's very oily.
When I was a
However,
kid, for some reason, maybe it's just because I was from Wisconsin, I fucking loved liverwurst sandwiches. Liverwurst
liver
with
sandwiches are
mayonnaise
amazing.
on white bread. It sounds like the grossest thing.
whenever I worked at
You
the
want to
deli,
eat that?
Yeah, I
century
need
egg?
it. I looked at that Wikipedia image. It looks fine to me.
I just want somebody to describe what it tastes like to me, and if it sounds
Rotten egg.
appealing, then like, would you try that fermented shark dish from Iceland? Where it's
Absolutely not.
like shark
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
like covered in urine and like buried underground for months.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, Spanky, I got something simpler for you then. But there's a story here, so I need to give you some background.
Okay.
Now, as a kid, we got really, really cheap cold cuts, so I used to really like, bologna sandwiches with mayonnaise, bologna cheese sandwiches.
Mhm.
But sometimes when I was really lazy, and I was only 7 years old, and I didn't want to get the bologna out or the cheese out, because all we had was American cheese, and I had to unwrap each one, and that was a process. Sometimes I would just eat mayonnaise sandwiches, just two pieces of bread with mayonnaise on it. Now, I've taken that one step further, now that we are in the hell world we're in.
Plague
right
world.
now. Exactly. So, first of all, I worked at a bakery for 3 months, so I learned to like breads other than white bread, which I realize is just a boring fucking bread. And, you give me some nice whole wheats, some nice country rye, I'm great. But typically, if I'm just going to the store, I'm just going to get a cheap whole wheat bread.
Yeah.
I just take 2 slices of whole wheat bread, toast them, and then just spread buffalo sauce and ranch just on the bread and eat it.
Yeah,
as a
that sounds
sandwich.
great. Yeah, no.
It's
Wonderful. One thing I do that's a little bit like that. I mean, it's not those two specific things, but one of my favorite hot sauces is just Louisiana hot sauce.
Classic.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I will mix that with Greek yogurt and spread it on bread or toast.
That's almost the same thing.
I'm just trying to think of, okay, so are we talking about like the weirdest, grossest thing that we just make for ourselves that we appreciate to eat?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think here.
So my dad likes to eat just slices of cheddar cheese with ketchup on it. That I think it's a fairly Midwestern thing.
I mean, that's not horrible. I do grilled cheese and ketchup, so...
Yeah. Here's a tip, TJ. Spread some mayonnaise on the outside of that grilled cheese before you fry it.
Hell yeah.
Crust over.
I've been tempted, but I worry about how that grills. I mean, I'm
It's-
it's good because everyone loves it.
It's about like butter.
Yeah,
It works
the
just like
egg content in it like makes a nice like crispy golden crust on it.
Yeah. I feel like it works better than butter.
I usually get too scared, and what I end up doing is I still butter the bread, and I'll do grilled like ham and cheese and put mayonnaise in the middle.
Do a
Get that
grilled
just, like,
cheese,
warm
but then
up.
like dip it fully into some batter and then throw it into a deep fryer.
Hell yeah.
You're one step away. You are one step away from Monte Cristo, which
Oh,
is
One of my
that's
fave
right.
sandwiches.
So
Isn't
one
that
of
but
the-
like ham in it or something? It's like
Yes.
one of the restaurants, chain restaurants we have in Springfield is the Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen, and they serve a Monte Cristo sandwich with like a raspberry rhubarb covered in powdered sugar, and it is the most like 6 million calorie thing that is
Yeah.
amazing. It's the
that
best.
comes from a time in like the 1950s or whatever where it's like luxury just means it's meat covered in bread and deep fried, and that means you're
Yeah.
rich. Like
Okay, I was trying
beef
to-
Wellington is the same kind of thing where it's just like, what the fuck is this?
I was trying to think of something that I used to eat and maybe still eat. I feel like I don't eat any like struggle meal gross stuff anymore. Like I used to do that, and I still will have like ramen and stuff, but now I'm like, I'm a chef now, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll make ramen, but I'm going to put an egg in there and use this toasted sesame oil and add all this extra stuff to make it like
Here's
actually,
the secret to really
good.
good cheap ramen. Throw a few dollops of Korean barbecue sauce in there. Opens up a
That
whole
is
new
good.
flavor world.
I've got
Or
the
hoisin
number
sauce.
one miracle sauce for everyone to cook anything in, and it's called oyster sauce. You put that
I
shit on
almost
anything.
bought that
Very
today.
good.
It is
Very good.
so it's people have called it's the Chinese ketchup. Like you just
Mhm.
put it on everything.
Almost
It's
literally
great.
because ketchup was originally developed in China as a fermented
Yeah.
fish sauce.
I was about to say yes. So that it is basically very much just a salty, tangy, fishy like sauce that just kind of goes well with anything. So I put that in everything. Whenever I make stir fries, I always put a ton of oyster sauce in
Mhm.
because I'm like,
Yep.
it just adds.
John,
to
I
it.
think you're the first person that I saw when we used to go to Noodles and Company all the time that would throw sriracha on all the mac and cheese.
Yes, the sriracha with the mac and cheese is good. Spicy mac and cheese. Okay,
did mac and cheese. Actually, shells and cheese work better for this. And Spam. You cube up some spam. You cube up a can of Spam and you throw it in some shells and cheese. Mwah, amazing.
I don't get why Spam has such a bad rap. I love Spam.
No.
It's honestly better than hot dogs. Like if of course hot dogs have the whole you can eat it on a bun appeal to them and grill them. But honestly, Spam is a better flavor than hot dogs.
I like a good. I mean, I had Spam when I was a kid, and I don't really buy it now, but I feel like I should because it's meat that basically doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
You can,
It's
and you slice it
like
thin,
these are the times where you stock up on Spam.
But you can slice it thin, and then you put that on a grill hot. It gets the sides are like crispy. It makes a good sandwich.
Fried bologna, which is popular. People,
there you go.
I eat fried bologna sandwiches all the time in college.
And honestly, that was where I discovered that mayonnaise was good to fry stuff in, because I would put just a tiny bit of mayonnaise on the bologna before I'd fry it. And I'm like, whoa, it's like, ooh, it crisps up all the sides of it, and I don't have to burn it to get it crunchy. It was amazing.
That sounds
great. And then I was like, well, I mean, I like the taste of Spam better than the taste of bologna. Can I do that? And yes, you can, and it ends up being a better sandwich.
I'll tell you the comfort thing that I used to eat as a child, and my brother was way more into than I was. So I remember this was like favorite snack of all time. Okay, you take yourself like a Lender's bagel, like the plain bagel or whatever it is. Bagel.
I
say bagel because I'm a terrible Wisconsin person. I say bagel and I say milk.
Yeah, I say
but
milk.
anyway,
Well, I used to say milk. Now I consciously try to say milk.
My wife yells at me every time when I don't say milk. I say milk.
When I consciously try to pronounce milk without an artificial E in it, like I feel like the feeling in my throat when I say that, but no, it feels like the noise a cat makes when it's about to barf. It's like milk. It just feels wrong.
Yeah. You get yourself a bagel. And you put a slice of American cheese in the middle of that bagel, and then you microwave it for 30 seconds.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
it's just a bagel with hot American. It's like the cheapest,
no, here's the thing.
Lamest grilled cheese.
Not a plain bagel. It's got to be an egg bagel because egg bagels are fucking delicious.
Any bagel you have on hand will work.
Here's a microwave tip that I learned. All right.
Okay.
Honey bun. Just put a honey bun in the microwave for like 8 or 9 seconds.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. It's a completely different...
Prison?
I do that with cookies.
Yeah.
Just like that you've had for a while, that you made.
Here's another Kitchen Pro strat.
You got a hot cookie.
The directions on the ramen say you're supposed to put it in hot water and cook it. You don't have to do that. You can just eat the brick.
Honestly, what's crazy... I'm not even kidding here. It's not like... When I first did it, because someone was like, I bet you won't eat like a brick of ramen. I'm like, I'll try. I thought it was going to be like hard. I'm like, no, it's almost like a
al dente.
I think. Well, no, it's not al dente.
They're cooked noodles. They're just freeze dried. So they're like freeze dried. It's not like eating raw pasta.
Yeah,
it's like the shit they put on sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, chow mein.
Yeah, it's like chow mein noodles. It's very similar.
I could just eat chow mein noodles all day long.
I do it. Multiple podcast episodes, maybe 2 months ago, I had leftover chow mein noodles. I just had a cup, and I'm just like snacking on them because they're good. Man, one of my favorite meals that I still make, it's like maybe my best struggle meal, is just egg noodles, butter, seasoned salt, pepper.
Yep.
That's it.
Classic.
So good. I love butter noodles.
I need cheese on it, so I gotta go Parmesan too.
Yeah. Nope. Just the butter noodles. And every time I make pasta for like spaghetti and stuff, I always take like a handful of the plain pasta and eat it because something about plain. Because pro tip, everyone, if you're making spaghetti, when you get that pasta out of the colander, you put it back in the pan and you put some butter and salt and pepper in there and you stir it because you want them noodles to have flavor before the sauce gets on them. Oh, it's so good. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm going to make spaghetti now.
I went through like a weird phase when I was a kid where I like suddenly didn't like tomato sauce anymore. So whenever we had spaghetti night at the house, everybody would have spaghetti and I would just have butter noodles. And fucking butter noodles are good shit.
Yeah. I love.
My middle daughter doesn't like spaghetti sauce. It's just butter noodles for her.
Yeah, she might come around. I did. Now I
Yeah.
can't get enough of that.
I used to be really picky as a kid, and then like I think around like maybe 12, 13, I started just wanting to eat what the adults ate. So I started just like choking down salads, even though I didn't think they were that good. And now I'm like and then I became just like, no, I like salads and all.
My
this
problem
other
is
adult food.
that when I was growing up, all of my entertainment was sponsored by McDonald's and Coca-Cola. So I never developed healthy eating habits, and now whenever I want to treat myself, I just pile garbage into my gullet. And
my parents
it's made and to boot, like I had high metabolism my whole life until like fairly recently, so I'm used to eating without consequence, and that doesn't happen anymore.
My parents will attest that I believe the first sentence I ever made involved McDonald's and French fries. Because when I was a baby, they used to give me like a McDonald's French fry or whatever, and then I was just like something about like go McDonald's French fries or something was like the first phrase I put together.
Our schools used to incentivize reading by giving us pizza.
Oh,
we're hardwired to think that food is a reward.
The Book It program was the greatest thing of all time. Spanky, I don't know if you're too old or too young for this, but they used to have Pizza Hut. And if you read like 12 books, you got a free Pizza Hut kids meal, which is one of those like
personal pan
pizzas. That's like 900 calories probably, and then you get like a breadstick and a sugary soda. So that's like 1,200 calories.
So we didn't have a Pizza Hut. There was a pizza place that did that it was the only pizza place in our little town. Yeah. But 30 minutes away, there was a Pizza Hut, and the schools there did do that when I was a kid.
My mom loved it because she would take my brother and I out because like the Pizza Hut was one of the only places in town that had like a salad bar.
Oh yeah.
So she was just like, I can get a salad bar. Like I never get to have that, like I specifically go to places now because they have salad bars because I want to fucking pile up a salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking Wisconsin salad bar is the greatest too, because it's like here's some pasta salad.
You've got potato salad, coleslaw.
Here's some 7-layer salad. All of the layers are terrible for you.
You just layer mayonnaise and boiled eggs and everything
some
over the top of that.
Creamed French dressing on top.
Oh, Jello that's been sitting out there for 3 hours.
Oh my god, the Jello. Bringing back memories, man. When I was in high school, I think I will say that my high school obviously didn't do a great job of keeping me in shape, but every other week they would have a salad bar option, and I would get the salad bar specifically because it came with lots of extras that you could get, and the salad bar option came with a soft pretzel and nacho cheese as a side. And so it was like, I gotta have the soft pretzel and nacho cheese.
Yeah.
And a side had like this like macaroni salad, potato salad, and then fucking Jello. And it was, oh my god, I would just pile up on all this garbage and eat it. And it was like, I'm eating healthy. It's a salad.
Right.
We had at the cafeteria in high school a salad bar every day. It consisted of salad mix, which was almost entirely like the shitty parts of iceberg lettuce that I'm sure they got
just
from
all the white ends. Yep.
Yes. It was mostly all the white ends of iceberg lettuce. They had black olives from a can.
I love
tomatoes.
canned black olives, though, man.
I eat canned black olives just out of the can.
Oh no, me too. Like I love them, but like
it's like literally just a salt delivery device.
Yeah.
They're just 99% salt. So they had black olives from a can. They had I want to say shredded cheese, but I think it was mostly not cheese. I think it was like Kraft singles, but like in shredded form. That
it was like shredded government cheese.
Yeah, like Velveeta shreds.
Because it doesn't melt no matter how much you try. I used to, like when we had chili days, I would sneak over to the salad bar and I'd throw some of it on the chili, and it would just never, like it wouldn't melt at all. And into the piping hot chili they gave us wouldn't melt. So like I just like had this spoonful of like slightly viscous cheese that I'd get once I found it in the bottom of my chili. So yeah, you had the cheese, and then you had croutons, which either the container was empty or they were stale. So they filled it once a week, and either everyone lunch was bad on Monday, so they got the croutons and it was empty for the rest of the week, or lunch was good on Monday and the croutons got stale and they just stayed there until they threw them away. And that was pretty much it for our salad.
Yeah, it was a small town. I mean, my high school had 250 people in it, so our lunch was consistent of you have 2 options every day, or you bring your own, and then there was a salad bar that was just, they had a couple pre-packaged salads for the people that were vegetarian, and nobody ever wanted them because they looked so awful.
Now, I don't know if this is a Southern thing, because I definitely remember this from living in Mississippi, but one thing on salad bars, like in a deli area of a grocery store, they'd always freaking have the banana pudding with the vanilla wafers.
They have that at salad bars up here too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see.
Hell yeah!
And it's like I gotta get myself some dessert.
I do think it is Southern influence, though.
Yeah,
I think it's Southern influence, but I think it's a lot of post-war, in post World War II, you wanted a dessert. And ice cream and stuff, there might be prohibitive something about it. And then you had all these army dudes who are used to eating freeze dried food and shit. And there was what if we had a thing that's freeze dried powder, you mix it with some shit and it turns into a pudding, and then you throw some wafers from a box onto it. And they turned that into a dessert. Mm-hmm. And then that probably got really popular in the South because we love piling that shit into
Another thing that happened around that same time is companies would develop cookbooks around their product to try and increase sales. So whole cookbooks
I read about
made by the gelatin company. So you had
4 or 5
fucking aspects
months ago,
where
I figured out Betty Crocker was a lie, and I'm pissed off at those companies.
So I'm gonna, if you want to have a good time on Twitter, you only need to follow one account. It's 70s dinner party. It's all fucking hot dog centerpieces and meat jellos.
My God, it's so
and
good.
It looks so fucking gross. The idea of what was considered fancy food in the 70s for the average person was just the grossest fucking garbage.
Oh yeah. I mean their header image, I'm sorry, I'll just put this up on the old screen share. It's pretty crunchy because they don't have a very good resolution photo, but that is bananas covered in hot ham and cheese.
Yo, I would absolutely tear into that.
Just looking at their account, I mean, we're talking about put some fucking ham salad inside your iceberg, baby. Cut it out.
Honestly,
what about this guy?
Oh, that's just terrifying.
There's also there was a blog I used to read where this woman would create stuff from 1950s cookbooks and then feed it to her husband and then write reviews on it. I can't remember what
go
it's
back
called.
to the beans one. I got hungry there for a second.
Got some beans with some melted cheese on top of it. I mean, I like
baked baby. Dude, I love me some beans.
Oh, here we go. Ways with hash, men's favorites. Betty Crocker.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's another thing. It sounds like your man when he comes home from work will.
Oh yeah, what they posted this. Oh, where is it? God damn it! All right, maybe these are all in reply to it. This one, yeah. This was the. Here's a tip: draw a picture of a lady and then put chips as her hair, as your centerpiece.
Coif.
Yeah, coif. And then a bunch of people posted pictures of
anime chips.
Of various chips and other items as hair, which I thought was quite good. I mean, in the 70s, what did they do? Oh, what is this? Oh, what is happening here?
That's pineapple slices. Pineapple?
So there's pineapple slices with maybe a hot dog and then a cherry on top of it?
It's something fried.
Oh, it's a small,
it's probably fried pickle or something.
Ooh, I love fried pickles.
Savory bacon pudding?
Oh,
dude, I'd fucking tear into that.
I mean,
that sounds okay.
I mean, there's just a lot. Wait, what is this? Cabbage casserole. Oh,
cornflakes.
I love. Here's an awesome thing: is so I love going to garage sales and stuff. This year's ruined, but one of the best things to do, and I have it here somewhere. It's right here. Oh my god, is getting old people's recipe books. So I got this old. Oh, you can't see
We
the
can't
camera.
see
So I'm
your
gonna.
screen sharing.
Yeah, we don't need to see this screen because it's
No.
just a description of a
Do
recipe.
yourself a favor though and look up hot
Get
dog
yourself
cheddar pieces.
old people's recipe book things.
Yeah.
Because there is some awesome 70s ass shit in here. This is mostly not like 70s like stuff. It's mostly baking. This person did a lot of baking, but I'm seeing if I can find some fucking winners in here.
The other thing you can look for if you want some good ass like grandma food is find the church cookbook that like communities would put together with all of their personal recipes.
Dude, I love that shit. Like,
that reminds me of something I lost for a second. Have you guys had faux apple pie before?
What's that?
I think I've heard of it.
It's apple pie with
Fapple
no
pie.
apples.
Yes, yeah, I've made
Ritz
that.
crackers.
Specifically, there's a friend of mine who hates cooked apples. And
Yes.
I was like, well, have you ever had apple pie without apples? It's like, you can't have apple pie without apples. I'm like, you can have pie without apples. Apples are not structurally required for that pie to take shape and become a pie.
Okay, so it looks like this is also called mock apple pie.
Yes.
That's what I knew it as.
Buttery round crackers, aka Ritz.
Ritz, yep.
Yeah, so wow, weird. It's all of the like spices and stuff you would put, all the cinnamon, brown sugar, except it's just filled with
when
crackers.
You cut into those crackers, they actually look like sliced, like thinly sliced apple wedges.
So I've got an old IGA, which is an old grocery chain store recipe for baked fruited meatloaf.
Hell yeah.
No.
2 pounds
Sounds
of ground
amazing.
beef. 2 pounds of ground beef. 2
Okay.
teaspoons of salt. A quarter teaspoon of accent, which is just a spice blend from back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Half teaspoon pepper. 1 egg. Okay, that sounds pretty
I'm
much like
pretty sure you can still buy accent.
this is meatloaf. You know, you got spices, egg, beef, whatever.
Usually some
Spread
kind
out.
of a grain filler.
Are we going to season this thing like a
You'll
nice
see.
ham?
Spread out in a square about 1/2 inch thick. So you're making a big old square patty meat.
Okay.
Make stuffing of 1 quart of toasted bread cubes, approximately 10 slices of bread, 1/2 cup of seedless raisins,
No.
1 small minced onion, 2 teaspoons of salt water or stock to moisten the bread, and chopped parsley, poultry seasoning, oregano, pepper. Spread evenly over meat. Roll as for a jelly roll and place on a greased pan. Brush with chili sauce. And bake in a 350-degree oven for 1.5 hours. So it's a
Sounds good.
Swiss cake meat roll,
Yeah.
TJ.
Yeah.
Just like what you had
That's
earlier.
good.
Uh,
I
so,
like raisins, though.
Yeah, we were talking about
Replace
Swiss
the
cakes in the
raisins with
pre-show.
either
so I'll
replace
talk
the
about.
raisins with grape jelly,
Mhm.
or go with a different fruit altogether. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah, I like raisins, so
I
raisins
fucking
are
hate
fine.
raisins.
I love raisins, not in this kind of thing.
I'll eat them on whatever.
Pureed, you just use some pureed prunes.
Because my mom does Swedish meatballs, but her sauce that she does is just grape jelly and cocktail sauce.
Oh
mixed together.
yeah.
So the crazy part about this is I want to make sure I pronounce this correctly. So I got to look on fucking Wikipedia to make sure I pronounce the Sicilian dish correctly. Oh boy, I can't
Spaghetti.
read that.
You
Spaghetti.
guys, we should start a cooking show
Yeah, let's do it.
with garbage ass food. Ooh.
It's pronounced.
Baked in the 80s.
I just got
It's
to
a
listen to
cooking
someone
show
say
where we
it.
only cook
No,
recipe
Baked in
from
the 80s
and
is our
earlier.
weed show.
It's an Italian word. I don't want to fuck it up.
Why not both?
Yeah, what if we do baked in the 80s and we make recipes from the 80s and earlier and we smoke weed and then we do a whole podcast where we're high eating 80s and 70s and 60s food?
Do you know what the worst part about the world is that I'm looking at how to pronounce this word, and the first things that come up are a YouTube video on pronunciation guide, how to pronounce Bejewel, which is what I found after a bunch of searching, and it's just Microsoft Sam saying Bracciola, pronouncing incorrectly a bunch. And it's like, okay, that's good. And then there's a how do you say that word.com. I clicked and it immediately put up an antivirus flag. So, okay. So it's bruschetta. It's an Italian dish, actually, that is a really thin pounded flat piece of meat with breadcrumbs, raisins, and other seasonings rolled into a pinwheel. So this like shitty Midwestern meatloaf is basically just fucking Midwestern bruschetta. Like this fancy Italian dish that's done in like tomato sauce. So I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, just like if you ever go, but like this is the joy of getting this cookbook, getting old people stuff is like this is someone's hand fucking written recipe for rhubarb cake. Like this is not. You know what I mean? Like just getting these fucking hand. I have rhubarb that grows near my house. Like I could make.
So my family, most of my family, and most of the influences I had as a kid growing up were from the South. Obviously, you can tell when my accent comes out that's from. But I have family in New York, and there's a few words that I learned from them. One of them is coffee, which is why I do not say. Yeah, which is why I do not say coffee like a Southerner, which would be coffee. It's coffee for me because my grandmother from New York is the one who taught me the word and about coffee. So another thing that is great about having family from New England is my great grandmother's cheesecake recipe, which is like, man, it is like it's expensive to make too because it's like you gotta throw in some cream cheese, but you gotta throw in some like what's that one like crumbly cheese? Feta cheese, ricotta cheese is in it. Like all these different types of cheeses that go in it, and you gotta like prepare it and like put it in the fridge so it gets the right temperature. Like, but I've got her handwritten recipe, and it takes about $25 today money to make and it's like this thick, like you could throw a dart at it and it would like maybe the tip of the dart would stick like into this thing.
Thick with 4 or 5 C's.
Yes, many C's on it.
Would it be
actually no, it's just 2 C's and they stand for cheesecake.
Now is it dummy thick?
Yes, it is.
So I found this other
and that's one of the best recipes I have.
Is that our podcast title?
It says
crazy cake.
Dummy thick.
Crazy
cheesecake.
Cake.
Dummy thick cheesecake is our fucking title today.
Dummy thick cheese.
Dummy thick cheese. I gotta write that down. Give me a second. But don't forget the McDonald's Miracle Rice. I posted the image in the chat so people can look that up too.
That can be our episode image.
Dummy thick. Well, we're gonna test.
Oh man, give people like a sensation, like they see the name Dummy Thick Cheesecake. I love cheesecake.
Let me see an image.
Fucking Miracle Rice.
So I found this recipe is interesting. It's called Crazy Cake, and I guess it's like an old school recipe, but it's like the easiest like potluck cake recipe. It says, and it's just like all the chocolate cake ingredients you put in a 9x13 like glass dish, and you just stir everything in the dish and then throw it in the oven. You don't have to like
a fucking dump cake.
Yeah, kind of, maybe. I don't know what a dump cake is, but
it's a cake you poop in.
Most dump cakes are really just you just throw the ingredients and you don't mix them and you just bake it.
Like, I'm actually really excited about this. I mean, like, there's this thing called the Tremlin 100 cake that she has, and she has handwritten instructions on the other side. Like, dude, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. If you ever go to, like, an estate sale or, like, a garage sale and someone's selling, like, a recipe book,
the problem
they're
is
so good to have.
The problem is I don't remember how to read cursive. So it's just gibberish to me.
It's funny because Ewan cannot really read cursive.
Yeah,
Ewan's like 20.
At some point they just stopped teaching it. At least
no, I don't think
America.
this is a recipe.
Right.
So like if I write Ewan's name in cursive, yeah. But if I write like, "Hi, how are you doing today?" and I can write cursive, my handwriting in general is terrible.
An old piece of newspaper.
I can write cursive just fine. And Ewan can't even like read it if I write several sentences of it.
Oh yeah,
I'll translate it from English cursive to Greek cursive, and then from that I could translate it into Russian plain text, and then back to English.
Okay.
So we'll be fine there. Okay. It just takes me some extra steps.
I just love this little recipe book because it's a lot of like there's like clipped out of the newspaper. Look at this, dude. I don't know where this is from. What look at how old this must be. A 29-cent hamburger there.
Nice.
So this is old, but this is rhubarb.
Wait, is it a veggie burger?
No, this is what?
Oh,
I saw like IE burger.
No, it's IA burger. I don't know what this is. But
it's probably a deluxe focaccia burger.
Yeah, whatever it
Focaccia
is.
bread.
It's 29 cents.
Focaccia.
I wish I had the year on these, but these are very old pieces of newspaper. So I don't know. I love like old recipes and getting people's like old recipe books because it's kind of like it's like excavation of like someone's like past.
Yeah.
You want to know what I like about getting like recipe books from estate sales? and
Thinking
stuff?
about how the person
like-
that owned it died, and you're
Yeah,
picking
that's
the
what I was
corpse.
supposed to say. It's like, yeah, on one hand, I get their cool recipes. On the other hand, they're dead and they're probably bad anyway. So like, 2 wins.
I actually think about it better is that like I'm kind of carrying on their cooking legacy.
Yeah, the
Like,
one good part about them, and then they died and got rid of all the bad parts.
I always love your optimism.
It's my best quality.
Croak optimism.
Croak optimism.
What does a Croatian person sound like?
Caw, caw, caw.
All right, I'm gonna look up a YouTube video of Croatian people talking.
Do they? I
Okay, this
imagine
isn't
they
it- this
just
isn't
sound
it,
like
so it's
movie
very hard.
Russians.
We went off the rails for a while, but this was a great way to.
Yeah, dude, this is
Take
just
after
a
the
food
podcast.
podcast now.
This is our food podcast. This is where I talk like movie fake
Halala
Russian.
Katoja. That's hello. Thank you. Same to you.
My
Halala
wife.
Katoja.
My wife.
I will say Croatian sounds very similar to a Russian accent.
Okay, so I can say this is my Croatian fake bad American racist act.
Yeah, stop being racist.
I don't think
Well, I mean,
accents
you
are
know,
racist.
it's my best
per
quality.
se. I mean,
Accents aren't racist if you're a white person doing another white accent.
yeah, I mean, like Russian people are white, so I'm just making another white. But what about Jewish accents? Is that racist?
It
No,
depends on
that's
what you mean by Jewish.
anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Is it?
Hang on.
What?
Okay, let me. I got Yiddish. You got it. That's a spicy meatball, right? That's Yiddish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So wait, can I
can-
say Yiddish words, or is that racist?
No, honestly, here's the thing about Jews.
Spanky's gonna break it
I'm
down.
gonna-
Me,
I'm going to break it down.
Quote
for you, right?
Spanky, here's the thing about
I-
Jews.
My great grandmother
Now,
lived in New York.
Spanky,
She knew like
Spanky,
2 Jews. I have.
Are you
going to
go Southern on us?
we know you're from the South. Are you about to tell us how the Jews are running the world?
Well, I guess we. What I was going to say was the Southerners are too busy hating people of darker skin complexion to hate
That's
the
true.
Jews.
Oh, they're getting
that's
back to it.
Well, I mean, that's more of like a city conservative thing to do.
Got it.
The forest conservatives are still on the hating brown people kick,
The forest.
but because they do subscribe to like the like Alex Jones of the world for the hating brown people stuff, they also get a good dose of like the globalism, anti-globalism.
The whole new world.
So they probably still
order thing.
internalize a lot of it, but I would say that it's really we don't hear it much down here because we're 99.9% Southern Baptist.
What about the Bayou conservatives, though?
They're just
Ooh, I
afraid
don't know
of
anyone from
gators.
Louisiana. Yeah, I don't know anybody from
Gators.
Louisiana.
So, anyway, guys, cabbage casserole. Half a cup of corn, or 1.5 cups cornflakes crumbled, right?
Yep.
2 sticks of melted butter.
Not enough.
Woo! Woo! 4 cups of shredded cabbage. 1 can of cream of celery soup. 1 cup of milk. 1 cup shredded cheddar cheese. Mix butter and crumbs for bottom and top layers. Mix remaining ingredients. Place half of the crumb mixture at the bottom of a 1 1 quart casserole dish. Add cabbage mixture. Top with more crumbs. Bake. So it's literally like cabbage baked with cornflakes and cheese.
Yeah. That all
It's a
sounds
cabbage
good except for the
sandwich.
cabbage.
Yeah.
It's actually more of a cabbage lasagna without the red sauce. Cornflakes are your starch.
Anyway,
I mean, I do a tater tot
Let's make some
casserole.
Frito pie.
I feel like somebody needs to do an account that follows the 70s dinner party accounts and makes these recipes.
I
Yeah.
you said Frito pie. I just remember the reason I don't like Frito pie is because at my school, their version of Frito pie was to give us a styrofoam cup of what I could only describe as hot vomit, because if you ate it, you're like, oh, I've tasted this exact thing before when I've thrown up anything else. It just tastes like bile. And then a tiny bag of snack machine Frito chips. And you were just supposed to like assemble it yourself.
What that is a walking taco. They used to. They might still sell these at the roller derby things.
Oh yeah. Where you
public
like
assembly. It's literally just you open up a bag of Fritos, you pour a scoop of chili into the actual bag, and then throw some shredded cheese in there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sonic
That's
used
good.
to have a chili cheese wrap.
And listen, like the shitty chili you use and something like that doesn't have to be good. You can get an 89-cent can of Hormel and make a decent walking taco. But I don't know where they sourced this chili they fed us in high school. But it was honestly, it was like it was made out of like what's left on the grill after you cook like shitty hamburger. And like that was the grease. And then they just put some cornstarch in it to thicken it up a bit and like dyed it brown. It was the worst thing.
You're supposed to deglaze that, not just scrape it off.
No, I think they just repurposed it into whatever they called chili and gave to us.
Well, yeah. But they scraped it off. They didn't deglaze it to repurpose it.
So I posted this in the Discord. What John described and what actually exists is a website called Mid-Century Menu, where this person actually makes all of these shitty 1950s and 1970s recipes, and they all look fucking gross.
Does he try to like plate them and present them as they would have been back then?
Yeah. So
like the pretty picture of the bananas with the hot ham and cheese on them and stuff.
Can I tell you the thing that I hate about the internet now is that we have a thing called McDonald's Miracle Steamed Rice, right? 2012, yes. That pop came out. There's a video from 2012 that has like 4,000 views where a guy like is making it. I would like to mention the guy who made this doesn't have the end result. It's just him throwing all the ingredients into the rice cooker, and that's the end of the video. But 2020, we have an Emmy Made in Japan video that's I want you to guess how long this YouTube video is and what the thumbnail looks like.
It's exactly 10 minutes long, and it's
no,
boobs.
it's got to be over 10 minutes. So
10
just
minutes and 1 second.
I'm going to say 14 minutes and 53 seconds, and it's got boobs on it.
No.
Yeah, definitely boob. Well, definitely cleavage. And it's 10 minutes, 46
No,
seconds.
it's a picture of the food, the end result, with somebody's face, like making a big reaction overlaid
TJ,
over the
you
top
win.
of it.
So, Emmy Made in Japan, who has 1.8 million subscribers, probably because when she puts a video together, she has all the stuff you need. 10 minutes, because if you have video longer than 10 minutes, you can put 2 ad breaks in to double your monetization. And so 10 minutes and 40 seconds. And though the video is just her holding a rice cooker and having like a very stark red color background, and her just going with a surprised open mouth face, like, I've made this thing, because that's every fucking YouTube thumbnail is someone with a surprised face.
Yeah.
Mouth agape, surprised at this thing that they've done. So on one hand, the old video sucked because it's terribly made and doesn't show anything to like the final part. Yeah. This video sucks because this could be 2 minutes, this video, but it's 10 minutes and 40 seconds. And they fucking spread it out.
It's kind of like how albums are 40 minutes long because of how much they could fit on a record back in the days, except for instead of really interesting ways to use exactly 40 minutes of music, you get terrible video content and ad breaks on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not watching this video because most of it is her just like talking to the camera while having taste. I'm sure this person's probably not terrible. Obviously, they're like a person of color and they have a YouTube channel and it's about cooking. So it's probably like not I mean, this person could be a crazy like QAnon person. I don't know. I mean, they're on YouTube, so maybe. I'm turning into Spanky now. We can't have you on the show anymore. I'm immediately distrusting everything I see.
All right. On the same episode that Spanky was made a co-host, Spanky has been kicked off the podcast.
Yeah, you're fired. Get the fuck out.
You're demoted back. You're demoted back to guest.
Spanky's canceled.
All right. Back to perpetual guest. I've been canceled as co-host.
So yeah, no, this lady is just showing you how to make it. I'm not going to watch the video because it's way too long, and I'll just say that she puts it in the rice cooker at 4 minutes, and then the next 6 minutes are her reacting to it and that. But you do get some good shots of what it turns into, and that is mushy. But it's interesting. I'm looking forward to making this week because I've definitely done it before and it worked.
It
was really weird.
I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm still going to make it.
I mean, if you wanted to be a little better about it, although you know what, that fucking cabbage casserole had cabbage steamed in a fucking oven. So I guess if you're putting this like shredded lettuce they put on these fucking Big Macs in the oven, you can do that. I
wonder if DoorDash has like a special requests box that I can put in.
Put it into a fucking rice cooker.
I'm gonna get my wife.
My wife.
She might be taking a shower, but because it's late. But thanks,
sexual.
Well, I'll take the webcam to the shower. You know, the other day I actually threw water on her when she was in the shower. So
was it
you
boiling
could probably
hot?
make a YouTube video that's like, I throw water on my wife while she's taking a shower, and then like have her going like a surprise mouth agape.
So
hi, Lauren.
Lauren, remember when we made the McDonald's Miracle rice? Remember this?
Oh yeah.
How was that?
It was fine.
That's exactly my reaction. Yeah. I think someone said it was edible. It was all right. It was weird.
I don't even think it was weird. It tasted like it just tasted like how you think it would taste.
Yeah, like soggy McDonald's.
Yeah, like chicken nuggets and fries.
So I wanted to make this again this week.
Soggy McDonald's is actually my Scottish grandfather's name.
We're all good because Matt bought a rice cooker. So now we gotta put it through its paces.
Moving on up.
Well, Matt, you know how like you get a car, you know, and they're like, oh, you know, when you get a new car, it's like you got to run it, you know, a bit. You got to put it through its paces, you know, get the engine moving. So your rice cooker needs
some garbage in it.
Yeah.
Just please tell me this isn't the first thing you're making with your rice.
No,
cooker.
it's the second. The first thing was rice with chicken broth.
That's better than first.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Can I go to bed now?
You can go. Yes.
Bye.
I just because she was there, she had it with me, and it was. Remember 2012, huh?
What a crazy time.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
Judy.
My dog is here. Yeah, she's excited.
She was mad, by the way, that the door was closed.
Well, I'm sorry.
She kept coming over to boot me.
Well, my dog isn't happy. Is the bed
my
room?
dog? You guys remember Borat?
Dry.
My dog.
So right before we started the podcast, I looked over and saw the dog was in the bed, and she has been running around out in the yard all day, so she's very tired. And I knew that she had drooled all over the bed, and boy, was there a giant drool spot in the middle of the bed.
There was so much drool.
So yeah, no, we just turned the fan on. It's dried off.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's sleepable. But
it's
our little drool girl. Oh, you're just a drooler.
Puppies.
You're just a drooler.
Yeah.
Look at your face.
Yeah.
I love this dog. I'm glad I have a dog and a home for this.
Oh my
this,
god. Yeah, me too.
This period. I was talking. Sorry, guys. I was talking about that with my parents. I was like, I'm really glad we bought the house before this.
Yeah.
Judy, come on.
My dog doesn't want to leave my side. Thank you. Well, because like I can't imagine
it sounds like
living.
it'd be great to like have a house that I own and a dog.
I got all this
stuff,
space.
but...
I've got a yard I can go out into.
See, this is why this is the difference again between Bernie and Elizabeth.
But the thing is
yeah, the Elizabeth fans already have their shit.
No, the thing is that I totally empathize with that view, and I know that I have it ridiculously good. Like this is, and for me, good is I'm a crushing $200,000 in debt because I have this house that I have to spend money so that it doesn't sink into the ground, constantly because it's a fucking. That's part of home ownership is.
But the difference is my debt's all student loan for a fucking music degree, and I don't have shit to show for it.
Well, you chose to get a music degree, Matt.
Nobody told me that music was not an
you
easy
are
money
100%
profession.
right, though, Matt. Trust me.
Yeah, like honestly,
Back-
like, there is the argument, like, you chose to get X degree, but also you were like 18. You knew jack
Yeah.
shit about anything.
There's also, when we were growing up, it was like, hey, go to college, and that's what you have to do to be successful. It doesn't matter what you do. Just go to college.
Just go
TJ,
there.
don't you have a math degree?
TJ, why do you have a math degree, and why do you not work in like fucking NASA or something? I just got the double
For all of our audio listeners, that was TJ's 2 fingers pointing.
No, but I mean, but the point is, TJ,
Yeah.
you can have a good degree, and you just don't get the job because of it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like a degree. is
Whereas
just
I was
fucking-
told, like, it was almost like guaranteed you'd get, like,
I can
a
tell
job.
you that
Maybe
what
not
I
a
do-
job in your field, but like a good job. That
Speaking,
you would
what
live on.
Yeah.
4-year college degree do you have for the nice job that you have?
What 4-year college degree do I have?
Yeah.
None. I have a 2-year college degree. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I don't know if I would call my job nice. I make $50,000 a year, and I'm a computer.
And you have full benefits.
And I have full. Well, no, you're right. So
And
my
pension.
job gives a lot of benefits, but like cost of living is also pretty low. But at the same time, like,
Hey, it's a really sweet situation I'm in here, but you know.
But he does have to
No.
live in the South.
yeah, I have to live in the South.
That is a trade-off.
That's not great. But listen to this. I had to work for 3 years as a programmer, and I made $10 an hour.
Yeah.
I was hourly, and I was not allowed to work over
TJ
35.
just died.
You killed TJ.
Sorry, TJ.
That is how
yeah.
it works, though. Like, because I make more than $50,000 a year now, and I don't want to say how much I make, but
It's fine.
but I make more than that. But when I got out of college, I made like $50,000 a year because I worked at Epic. But then I got fired from that job because I was incompetent. But then I worked at like $12 an hour forever at like a science lab.
You know,
for 6
what's
years.
crazy?
And then now I finally am getting paid well. It took that long.
I just did the calculation for the pre-tax number of what I'm going to be making by being unemployed with the additional COVID $600 that's supposed to kick in next week.
Yeah.
If I did that for a full year, it would be $49,000, which is more than I was making at my job.
Yeah.
Yep. So the thing about it is, like, the degree, for me, in my case, what I'm doing mattered, because anything that I could do, they didn't want me. They're like, okay, you need 4-year degree, you need experience with these technologies, you need experience, you need work experience. If you're fresh out of college, you have to have a 4-year degree, or like the automatic like resume review like service that we probably pay for will just can your. And I actually would lie on my resume. I wouldn't put what type of degree I had. I would just put education, Missouri State University, computer graphics programming, and that's all I'd put. I wouldn't put anything. But eventually I did get a job. It sucked. I hated it. I mean, everyone at the job was super cool, and I liked all of them, but like the job itself was bad. And 2 years after I did that, I got an entry-level job as a programmer at the university I dropped out of. And that's where I still work. And I don't mind saying what my salary is because I work at a university. All you have to do is go and look up the information. You know, I'm a computer programmer. You know where I work. It's public record.
Yeah, you get to see that. I think it's
that's
always
just the
goes
thing you
though,
can see.
like- but that's the fucking capitalist in me, though, because like when you work at a private company, they're like, don't tell anyone else your salary.
Yeah.
Because then everyone will know how
we-
bullshit the differences are between people,
Yeah.
and you'll want more money.
We don't want the workers organizing against us. Let's just make it a
can
faux
tell
pas.
you that part of my training at this place I'm at now, at the Dollar General, is basically blatant anti-union.
Oh
propaganda.
yeah, my friend
Seriously hard.
my friend whose name I won't. Well, I don't think he works there anymore, but he worked at Walmart, and like 90% of the training material is like unionizing is terrible because if you unionize, then you're gonna put all of your friends' jobs at risk, and if their jobs are at risk, then they don't get any of these nice benefits that Walmart.
And unions
Benefits
are
are
like
really
a
good. You
business.
get a 10% discount on non-food item, or like non-grocery or non-general items or whatever. Like you get all this crazy good stuff, and you would never want to unionize and risk your friend's job. And it's just like 90 minutes of that.
Oh,
Anyway.
it was more.
Let's talk about one final thing before we end here. I found an incredible subreddit community that I wanted to share.
Okay.
It's r/the Donald.
It's
No, it's r/Redfield.
It's r/men going their own way.
MGTOW, yeah. No, okay, here we go. It is called r/deep into YouTube. And it is called the Dark Depths of YouTube. And it is just people posting ancient videos that have like less than 10,000 views that are gold.
Oh, I have a sounder for this.
This elevator only goes to the basement. And someone made an awful mess down there.
So most of it is just really cringy, like home videos and bad animations that have like 900 views, but are also like great. You know, like there's some really good like vaporwave remixes and stuff of the Jewel Osco theme song. I guess I'm gonna listen to this now, actually. But anyway, oh my god, did I tell you guys about that? I think we talked about this on the podcast, but Spanky, you love this. I found a website that has all of the old Kmart audio that they would play over the stores.
Yes, I saw that.
They had cassette tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And so somebody ripped these,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just like this fucking Muzak, and then like, come on down and get yourself it's summer season, so get yourself, and it's just like, oh
I
my
actually
god,
spent a whole night
There's
listening
a blue
to
light
that.
special in the
fuck
clothing
yeah, dude,
department.
it is
Yeah.
awesome. That shit is great. Yeah.
What's crazy is I'm pretty sure a lot of those tapes came from one of the guys who did the music, like the store music, because a lot of the Kmart stuff wasn't just what was on the radio, like you might find at a grocery store. They actually did like some like
They had a mix. They had
weird-
radio stuff and not. Yeah.
yeah, they had like weird house, how like just someone had a Casio and did covers of pop songs and shit on it.
Yeah. Well, that's the way you get around paying the like ASCAP BMI fees for broadcasting music in your store. Because like if you've ever been to a bar that has that's playing music over their sound system, they're legally supposed to like track that and then pay a fee at the end of the year for like which songs that they played and stuff like that.
Dude, this Vaporwave remix is incredible.
I mean, it's not lo-fi Fieri. Guy Fieri lo-fi.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing is.
that's pretty good.
No, I always see stuff like that, and I'm like, man, I want to sample that and make songs out of it. And then I'm really lazy, and then it doesn't happen.
And then you play World of Warcraft Classic.
Yeah, except now I'm on this Hearthstone kick, so...
Yeah, I saw you were on Hearthstone today.
They give you a free
Dude,
deck, so...
This song, the first song in this, so this remix that I posted on the, let's plug it, YOLO420.com/born in the 80s, the Discord on the YouTube channel recommends this low prices Vaporwave remix Jewel Osco is one of those audio tapes that they had playing, and then the guy remixed it. So there's interstitials where the guy's talking about buying like t-shirts on sale and stuff. But this first song is a fucking banger on this.
All right, I'm going to play it. You guys won't be able to hear it, but the podcast will.
You have to like go like 30 seconds in on that, and isn't it the best? Oh my god! And the video is also a trip as well because there's some weird CGI store. But how's that?
Oh,
You liking it, man?
It's
fucking good. Anyway, so that's my new Reddit community that isn't terrible of the week is the Deep Into YouTube, where you can find really bad or really good old YouTube videos with very few views.
That reminds me of that website that would just show you a random Twitch channel that had 0 viewers. I don't remember what it's called.
I'm basically just going to be watching videos from this.
Lonely
the rest of the
Streams.
night, so.
LonelyStreams.com. You'll go on it, it'll randomly show you a live Twitch channel that has 0 viewers.
I love that.
And you'll
idea.
find some really fucking weird shit.
That's where we get all of our subscribers to our podcast.
Uh-huh. I also have posted a video where there's a lady in a cow costume just singing "Happy Birthday, Tom," and there's like a whole YouTube genre of like "Happy Birthday," insert name here, and video, which are generic fucking backgrounds that you can send to your friend with that name as their birthday. So that's like
That's
whole
awesome.
thing. Yeah, this lady is cosplaying, or maybe she's a cow furry. I mean, she is in full costume here, so I don't know.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, yes, it's such a great Reddit. Like, just finding the weirdest fucking shit on here.
Yeah, I am now subscribed.
Like
This
old,
is
like
right
little
up my
children.
alley.
Like, this is like a home video that somebody made with their stuffed animals and action figures. Oh, this is so good. Oh my
I
god!
wonder if any of Ewan's videos from like
Way back in the day.
because I mean, like, you know, Ewan was 9 in 2009.
Yeah, this is the thing. When I was 9, I had my parents' video camera, and I made insane shit like this. But there was no way for anyone to. This is a fucking choice video. This Toxic Crusaders that this fucking kid did. Baron von Bear, who is a stuffed bear. A lot of other characters. This has 58 views on YouTube since 2012. This is a real undiscovered gem of a thing.
I gotta give this to Ewan. I'm sure Ewan would love this.
Oh, it's
So I'd
so
like to
good.
announce my new Twitch show. It's going to happen every Thursday night. It's called Deep Into YouTube, where we.
I think
where
we
browse
honestly,
this shit.
I think we should do that, and we could figure out a way to do that with us watching it together on Discord, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
know.
Yeah, we probably
Yeah.
could.
We should do that. I'd love to watch some of this shit because, like, there's so much good. I mean, like, what is it, like 200 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube every second or some nonsense? Yeah.
It's a fucking ridiculous ratio.
Yeah. So
About a year a day, I think, is an easier ratio.
Fucking crazy.
I'm going to read a thing here. Mind-blowing YouTube facts. 5 billion videos watched every day. That is at 300 hours of video every minute. So, yeah, that's a lot. And there's a lot of good shit in there that is not stuff. So maybe that's the next Amazon expedition. It's the YouTube deep
300
dive.
hours of video
And you have
every
like a
minute.
nautical theme where we're like going down into the depths of the ocean. Sorry, go ahead.
Like some Jacques Cousteau narration.
yeah.
So
Go ahead.
that's 60 years uploaded every day, then.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lifetime. A person's lifetime of video uploaded to YouTube.
The craziest thing is that means that if you upload anything to YouTube, the odds are overwhelming that 0 people will watch it. So if you get literally 1 person to watch your video, you've won the lottery already.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
And
that makes
sad.
me happy when I have videos that have comments on it and people say they like it.
Mhm.
I'm like, one person saw this and enjoyed this. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
So
Matt, go ahead and play us off. I think we're done. The website is borninthE80s.net. You can find all of our past episodes there, or follow us on whatever your favorite podcast streaming service you have is. But more importantly, talk to us directly. We're at 80s Podcast on Twitter, though no one checks that, other than putting the new episodes up there.
Mhm.
But come to our Discord. That's YOLO420.com/borninthE80s. John, where can we find you specifically?
I am John_Danger on Twitter.com. I will post pictures of my McDonald's Miracle Rice that I make sometime during this week because I fucking work from home now. I can drive to the McDonald's and buy the ingredients and fucking make it for lunch one day and share it. I'll put videos up of that for the listeners.
You can find all of my live streams at hemsworthfeet.world. And yeah, just see some World of Warcraft, some Hearthstone, and some soon to be some soldering and assembly of guitar pedals.
For the 5 people that only listen to the end here and not the whole thing, that's an actual website that will redirect you right to Matt's Twitch.
Yep.
And it's worth
It's
that
true.
work.
And whenever I die, probably in a terrifying accident, whoever is going to inherit my assets is going to get a bill that says, "This man owns HemsworthFeet.world. What would you like to do?" And then I probably won't get a funeral after that. They'll just find some place to fuck it. I'll probably end up going to that frozen dead guy place, and they'll just be like, I'll just sit there with him because no one wants to take care of him.
Or they'll throw you in that popper field that's like a full island off the coast of New York.
Yep.
Yeah. Just the mass graves that are happening right now.
Yeah.
I am Spanky Works on Discord and some other places on the internet, but don't call me Spanky Works, just Spanky Works. And I don't really do anything. I just drink beer. I like beer.
like beer.
I'm at MayofMay84 on Twitter, and if I quit my job, you can find me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/MayofMay.
TJ, you should try to get fired because we're all getting extra money now.
Yeah.
That's what I told him earlier.
Yeah, it's really boosting my weekly checks from George Soros that I get.
Hell yeah.
Well, now you're double dipping because you're getting paid by George Soros and you're getting paid by those people to protest against the quarantine. See you later, everybody.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember. We had of the flute players we had, most of them, there were a couple that were good, but as I remember it, most of them were not super into band. They were just like, I can play the flute, and I don't want to have to take an art class, and I can take band and not have to take an art class, and there we go.
That reminds me of most of our trumpeters who just sit there with the trumpet in front of their face.
Our
Second
trumpets were fucking hardcore, tryhards.
No. 70% of our trumpeters in my high school band were just hold the trumpet in front of them and talk to their buddies next to them.
Yeah, no, in my high school band, the trumpets were the jocks of the band world.
Hell yeah, boy! Trumpets for life! Get all the chicks!
So in my, so we participated in the solo and ensemble contests. Oh, nice. My trumpet. Whatever you're playing, Spanky, is close enough to Price is Right. You should just learn that too.
That is called Feels So Good by Chuck Mangione.
Yeah, I know that song from King of the Hill.
That's where I know it from. A lot of people have also learned it from Doctor Strange. Whenever they're in the surgery room, they play that.
Really?
Yep.
I haven't seen that movie.
My trombone's in Illinois, because I did learn trombone in 10th grade.
You're such a tromboner.
This trumpet is my marching trumpet. It is a $200 maybe Chinese piece of garbage.
Okay.
The thing about me that I understood that so there was a couple kids who had really, really nice, I don't think anyone had any Yamaha Xeno or whatever they're called, or any box strats or anything like that. But there was, I think one guy did have a Yamaha, a really expensive Yamaha. But that was all they had. And we're a small enough school that you can't just be in concert band. You have to do at least marching band or pep band at the football game or something. Which means you're going to take that $1,500 trumpet and you're going to sit in some fucking concrete bleachers with a bunch of 7th graders. And the thing is going to get fucking ruined. And it did. Every single person who had an expensive trumpet ended up getting dinged or fucked up. But me, no. I bought this cheap Chinese piece of shit, and it is all fucked to hell. Like the bell is completely warped.
The Chinese trumpet.
The
Chinese trumpet.
The tuning slide.
The Wuhan trumpet.
The tuning slide, I don't know if you can tell there, I've had to solder it back together and cover it with hot glue to make sure that it stays airtight. It's a total piece of junk. Absolute crap.
Yeah, well, here's my trumpet playing. Nope. That's supposed to be an elephant sound. What the fuck,
the Bike
dude?
Cruise, we talk about the Chinese trumpet and more right now.
I too played trumpet, Spanky, and I too had 2 trumpets. My marching band trumpet and my good trumpet.
That's the way to do it.
I still have my marching band trumpet, and I sold my good trumpet when I was in college because I stopped playing.
The only instruments I ever owned were trumpet. I used school instruments for everything else. I marched with a valve trombone once. That was a weird experience.
Oh yeah, valve trombones are fucking weird.
Because what it is I mean, it's the same 3-valve system, so you're playing it just like you would a trumpet, but you're reading bass clef music, and you can't do any of the sliding or anything like that.
It's a euphonium in the shape of a trombone.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, no.
Well,
the octave is
it's more like a baritone.
Yeah, the octave is the same. The timbre is a little bit
Is a
different.
euphonium.
No, it's like the difference
Baritone
between a
has
trumpet and a
conical
cornet. A euphonium has a conical bore all the way through, and the baritone is straight bore that flares out at the end.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think
you have that backwards, but I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, I don't know. One of them is one.
You know what's a straight bore? You guys talking about this shit.
You shut your goddamn face.
Shut up, John. So I work at a university, and they have a surplus. Like, just here's shit that we don't.
We're overstocked.
Anymore. And I went there, and we're allowed to take anything as long as it stays in our office. So, like, I got some weird shit. Like, there was an oscilloscope that's used for broadcast. It is not. It's not like an oscilloscope that you'd use for electronics or audio.
Yeah.
It's for video.
Oscilloscope.
So you can put color signals in it, and it'll split them out into red, green, and blue. So if you just send a green signal through it, you can make it behave like an oscilloscope.
Yeah.
But it basically tries to split the signal into like red, green, blue, and it'll show you your color balance. And what this was used for is for live broadcasts, you would run all your cameras through an oscilloscope like this and compare their wavelengths to make sure they lined up. So when you switched from camera to camera, the color balance would all be the same.
Okay.
It's really fascinating. And I, of course, I have no video signals to really put through it or anything like that, but I have like plugged like a square wave generator into it before and like played around with it, and you can still get most of the same oscilloscope function out of it, but it's only like one-dimensional. It doesn't do like multi-dimensional like transformation.
I have a TV that I turn into an oscilloscope.
Yep.
So.
That's fun. One of my coworkers tells me about how his dad used to do that for no reason.
Yeah.
So I've always been kind of interested in doing something like
it's
that.
super easy. It's just you take the vertical sync and the horizontal sync, and it's like 3 wires. So you cross one of them so that you just have this persistent horizontal line, and then another one you connect an audio source to, and that provides the bumps. And it's like, so the TV that I did that to, I always mean to like go back to it and just install a switch so I can switch back and forth from TV to oscilloscope.
Shit, what was I talking about? Anyway, so in concert band, I played tuba, I played trombone, I played euphonium, I played bells one time, I played trumpet my senior year in concert, but basically I was kind of all over the place in concert band. I could read music, and I feel like most of the people couldn't. They're just like, if the dot's there, it means I gotta put my fingers this way. And they kind of figured it out eventually. But I could actually read the music, so my band director was just like, we really need someone who can actually play the music to be on tuba right now. So you're playing tuba for this. So when we did concerts, like our performance concerts, I would after every song, I would get up from my seat and go and get a different fucking instrument and sit down somewhere else. In jazz band, I played trumpet. Jazz band for us was, I think 5 or 6 people. And it was basically there'd be smaller events, like Rotary events and whatever that the school would do. And we would just play music at those. So it was they're like, hey, they decided they're doing a parent-teacher night thing. And they want to have a banquet and music. So jazz band, mobilize. So we did that. We did a couple Christmas things, I think. And then pep band was... I say pep band was basically all of the marching band people, but marching band, basically it was if you were a sports person, you had to be in marching band if you're going to take band class. But you did not have to be in pep band because you were a sports person. So if it was we have to learn to do, because we did football field, halftime show marching stuff. We had to be there at 6 a.m. every morning and do 2 hours of practice before school to learn the routines and whatever. And football players, sports people, they didn't have to do that. But they did have to learn to march, which no one was good at my school. They were all I'm just going to walk. And the drummers would be playing marking time, left, and I would just yell at people left, left, left. The drummer hits the drum when you step with your left foot. I don't give a shit what you do with your right foot in the meantime, but the next time he hits the drum, step with your left foot.
Hey John, go get some levels.
We on Twitch?
Yep.
I'm busy placing bombs on a horde warship.
What the fuck is X-52?
What?
I see X-52 in your camera.
Well, that's my my flight stick.
Oh, okay.
It's the box for it.
Show us your stick.
All right, we did last week.
Show me your dick. I mean stick.
I will.
Show me your penis.
I'll post it in the
throttle.
Discord.
It's all tied up over there. I don't want to fuck
NSFW.
Hey. Oh, speaking
Not
of
safe
NSFW,
for W.
I've been disguised as a female blood troll when I swim. I can see right up my cooter.
Do they have human-like cooters?
No, I'm wearing a thong, so I can't see the actual cooter, but I can
Okay.
see where the cooter would be.
Because I'm not really... Did you say troll? What did you say?
Yeah.
I'm not
I
really
like the
familiar
word
with
cooter.
troll anatomy. Other than on Twitter.
Yo, Twitter trolls.
Where are all my Twitter trolls at?
Where are all my bows in the house?
Where are all my trolls? Trolls 2 World Tour.
I saw
The
that.
McElroy brothers.
Was it any good?
No, of course I didn't see it. It's a fucking
I don't
terrible
know.
children's movie.
You should.
Are you
I would
kidding me?
recommend listening to the McElroy brothers podcast about them
Yes, their
scamming their
podcast
way
is
into it.
quite good.
It's done in a
Speaking of
This
the
American
McElroy
Life
brothers,
style.
I want to take it. Talk about Audible.
Hey guys, you want to hear a bunch of really bad stuff that people sent in that's cringy? Because we got that.
What?
It's their fans are the absolute
Hang on,
cringiest.
I got this. I'm going to talk to our
Wait, the
potential
cringy.
sponsors right now.
Oh, I thought you meant of our podcast.
Oh God, no! Our fans are cool.
We don't
All
have.
of
All of our fans are like that Winnie the Pooh that looks cool. Remember
Yeah,
that?
the one in the
That pose
tux.
up? Yeah. I'm just stalling because I'm doing this quest.
Oh, yeah, who's wasting time now?
Matt, you said 8 o'clock, so
It is 8
Hey,
o'clock.
Verve, I know you're listening.
it's 8 o'clock somewhere.
You pay us $40, just $40, and we'll do a 90-second spot about getting Verve.
Verve?
TJ is selling us
Yeah,
out.
hey,
here.
Verve.
$40. That's
Verve.
all I want.
We're being sold out for $20.
40, and
Oh.
it's going all to John. 'cause
And it's
John pays
$40
everything.
per placement. So
Yeah,
they-
$40
if they
per-
want to add on more than one episode, it's going to be $40 more bucks.
Okay, fair enough.
$4,000. Got it.
Oh shit.
What we should do is sell our back catalog of 389 episodes and say, hey, John
There's
will
more
personally edit your ad into every single one of those episodes for $200.
It's true, I will.
How's your quest going?
I just sent a horde embassy into the void.
Okay.
That went quite well.
Nightbot's fucking talking to me. Tell him to
Your
shut up.
Wait, Impa?
No, Nightbot is their Nightbot is friend.
Well,
I
then how
have
come-
those messages set to you set like a minimum chat threshold, and I have them set to 2 messages. So like all I need is you saying something and me saying something, and then it's like, oh, people are chatting. I'm gonna post these messages.
You know what
but
is the
why
best?
do you have the default Discord link
What?
instead of Guild 421?
Your Hemsworthfeet.world.
Hemsworth
No,
feet
Discord.
world, baby.
Hemsworthfeet.world brings us here.
Night.
I mean,
Night.
to the Twitch.
Where is my fucking thing
Here,
that I have?
I'll
There
change it so that it's both.
Do I need to get levels or something? What's going on?
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you want to do.
If we're not going to start in the next 5 minutes, I'm just going to invite 7 more people to the podcast.
Do it.
Please don't do that. It's hard enough with the amount of people we have to stay on track.
No, what we'll do is we'll mute them and make it a call-in show.
Okay. Guys,
Yeah, let me just set up a tape delay so that I can bleep out like
Yeah.
anything
Welcome
shitty.
to Z109, the Fox.
Whenever Ewan and myself did Cool Games Inc. Vancouver,
what's that show? I've never heard of it.
it doesn't exist anymore as far as I know.
I'm a while away, Stan.
Yeah, I don't know if that exists anymore either. So my KGIV, Cool Games Inc. Vancouver is KGIV when you
Yeah.
when
you walking.
abbreviate it, and that sounds like a radio station. So I was like, Ewan, let's stop doing this podcast that I don't like, and just do a radio, and call it KGIV in the morning. And it'll be
KGIV.
a morning show, and I'll just get a soundboard with fart and toilet noises on it, and
So
I'll
it's
be
like
like,
Matt.
In the morning.
I think Matt's fart and toilet noises are authentic. I don't think he uses a soundboard.
Well, what we need to do is we're usually quiet enough every time he walks off, he uses the toilet, and he drops the toilet seat super loud. I'm sure we can pull a toilet seat drop from one of our...
I remember when we were playing WoW Classic and we Matt had like a 48-hour consecutive game time, and he was extremely delirious, and we would just be
That's
talking
a nice
to Matt,
way of saying drunk.
and we would be talking to Matt, and we wouldn't know he'd gone, and then we just hear wham! We'd be like, well, that's a toilet seat.
Yeah, because I would
Okay.
use
He's not
just
been
the
here for a good 5
webcam,
minutes.
and he won't be back for a half hour.
Well, I could listen to this song all day.
It's a good song.
Did you compose
Welcome
this
to
yourself?
Born in the 80s, episode 390. I'm your host, John Dangerrow.
I remember when
Joined by my
Matt
co-host.
used to compose music for this show.
I remember when I used to make music at all. Now I just play WoW.
Now you just eat hot chip and lie.
What?
Any Matt born after 1993 only knows how charged they phone,
What the
eat
fuck
hot
are you
chip and
talking
lie,
Eat
be
about?
hot chip and lie.
bisexual. Be
Yeah,
bisexual.
Guys, I'm fighting about 8,000 horde right now. I can't talk.
God damn it, John!
My stealth failed.
Do you guys want to kick John off the podcast?
Fine. We're gonna.
I am
do the
so
Brawlhalla
fucked up right
podcast,
now.
Or we're gonna play like Dauntless right now or something.
No, it's okay. I'm running out of the quest zone, and then I'm going to log out.
By the way, I did make hemsworthfeet.world/chat work.
All right, let me get
For the pop out.
Yeah, if you like, just want the chat.
Well, I got it up on the Xbox. sometime.
Twitch.tv. Okay, and then it's Matthew Haggerty Music.
Just HemsworthFeet.world. Why are you
Manthony
going the long way?
Music.
Yeah, come on, man. You know this.
Yeah,
Ugh.
come on, man.
Come on, man.
All right. There's a trailer for some sort of Predator game here.
Like sexual predators?
Predator Hunting Grounds.
The Louis
PS4
C.K.
exclusive.
game.
All right, let me. Yes. Okay, Mixer. I got Mixer. We're on Mixer. You guys talk for a second. All right, I got it.
Okay.
All right. This is John at his normal volume microphone location. Next is going to be Matt.
Hey, I'm Matt. This is how I talk. I'm trying to not block my face with the microphone.
Yeah, this is TJ. If I'm a little quieter
Okay.
from here, it's fine. I'm going to lean forward as we go. Spanky?
Yeah, I'm here and I'm Spanky.
TJ
and
May.
This is like where I sit and talk and shit at.
Nice, TJ. My favorite part about your microphone recording is that
It's echo.
you are going to get a level at a level that you're not going to actually sound like, so we can guess. Can you move where you're going to be leaning forward?
Fine. I'm trying to be lazy because I'm going to fall asleep again. I'm not going to fall asleep.
Don't fall
Let's get
asleep.
about right here, Mr. John.
Okay.
Mr. John, I'm right here.
Levels sound good. Okay. We're
John,
good. I'm back.
I'm not.
Okay.
Hello?
I got to switch to... Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, cool.
I've heard you the
All
whole
right.
time.
All right, I got to go finish that quest now.
God fucking damn it, John.
What? It's a quest. I've got to murder a bunch of horde.
Fine. I'm getting magic spheres in Final Fantasy X then.
Well, I only have to kill 3 more, so it will not take me more than like 2 minutes.
I'm just gonna kill Jumbo Flan. I'll do it on stream.
When I can be. I just have to not suck at the stealth portion of this.
Can we start the podcast and then you finish your quest?
Yeah, we can start the podcast.
All right.
So I think this is the button.
How do I tell?
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 390.
Is it 390 for real?
Yeah.
390, yeah.
390 man.
Welcome
Wait,
to Born
I
in
have
the
to start
80s, episode 390.
Is it
This is
normal
my show.
to feel like your kidneys are shutting down constantly?
I sometimes feel like kidney stones, but that's
All
about
right,
it.
stop, everyone. Let's start the episode. Ready?
I like
Yeah.
beer.
All right.